on in to Project Big Screen, the first episode of our brand new movie podcast, wherever you're listening or watching, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, if you're watching. Jeff D. Lowe alongside Kirk Minahan. I'll go down the list in front of me. Gooch, Klemmer, Kenjac. Brand new movie podcast coming at you. It's a movie review and rankings podcast. So we don't have to do like a back and forth on what it is, but very excited. I think the excitement level's high. Kirk, I think there's 5 of us here. We'll see how many there are in a week or two, right?
I'm not thrilled with the start here, if I'm being totally honest. Behind the scenes, I don't like what's going on here.
We got Gooch in a wind tunnel.
The horns are, but I'm sure it'll be good.
We have a great movie, I think, that we all pretty much like today. How it's going to work going forward. I'll quickly go over this. 2 reviews off the top today. There'll be 1 or 2 depending on how many movies come out this week. We're doing 2 because we want to catch up and talk one battle after another. We'll have a segment in between where we kind of do like a couple quick hits, like maybe movies or small things that we've seen that we're not going to do like full reviews on, but we'll give you our takes, maybe some movie news, trailer breakdowns, and then we'll do a list at the end every week, a combined list too. So we'll argue and disagree with each other. It's a top 10 list that we all get 2 picks each. Let's get right into it. One battle after another. Latest movie from Paul Thomas Anderson. Bob, a washed-up revolutionary who lives in a state of stoned paranoia, surviving off-grid and with his spirited and self-reliant daughter Willa. When his evil nemesis resurfaces and Willa goes missing, the former radical scrambles to find her as both father and daughter battle the consequences of their pasts. 2 hours, 50 minutes, like I said, from PTA, based on the 1990 book Vineland, which based on is a heavy word in that. From what I didn't read it, what I've been told, it's not too much like the book. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor. In the movie, it's made $79 million as of when we're recording this on October 5th. 95% are on Tomatoes, IMDb 8.4, Metacritic 95, Letterboxd 4.4. Kirk, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Kenjac, Gooch, Klemmer, then myself. You're a big PTA guy. Give our scores off the top. By the way, you can see at the bottom, if you're watching on YouTube, our Letterboxd. Kirk just joined Letterboxd. You can see our Letterboxd names for longer reviews as well. If you're listening, it's in the description below. So, Kirk, quick thoughts off the top of what'd you give One Battle After Another?
I think I gave it a 92. Is that right? I think it was somewhere in the low 90s. It was either 92 or 94, put it that way. I think it was a 92. I have it 4th PTA movies, which is, no small thing. There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, The Master in this. Great. Didn't the first 30, 40 minutes maybe or so, I was kind of not sure where we were going. And then for me, this first scene with Penn and Tony Goldwyn and those guys in that room, I thought, well, here we go. This is a movie I haven't seen before. And then we're off to the races. I mean, it's not my favorite movie of the year, but loved it. Great. I'll be curious how it plays come Oscar time. But my expectations were met. My expectations were high. So for me, right now, definitely top 5 movie of the year and top 5 PTA movie, which is, pretty good. So yeah, very pleased. Very pleased.
Yeah, we'll hit a couple of those things you just mentioned. We'll definitely hit we'll do some big questions for the movie. We'll definitely talk Oscars in a second. We'll definitely talk where we rank it. Kenjac, what about you? Are you on board in the 90s with One Battle After Another?
Yeah, I think it is kind of crazy thinking with PTA where his 5th best movie could be almost any other director on the planet's number 1 with a bullet.
Sure.
No question. And I think I loved pretty much everything he was able to do in it. It's perfectly placed. It's exciting. It's organically funny, which I think is kind of hard to get across in movies now. And I think the performances you get out of every member of this cast is extraordinary. You get one of the best performances from Sean Penn. You get really concentrated punches out of Regina Hall, out of Goldwyn, out of Schweig, the Native American tracker guy, crazy. And that dude, we'll talk about him more later as well. James Ratterman, the interrogator guy, get all these crazy, super concentrated punches of really strong acting across the board. Super impressed by it. I'm at a 93 out of 100. I'd have it right around, I think maybe a little bit higher than you could, the 3rd best PTA, where it's the same thing. It's Boogie Nights. It's There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, and then probably I'd have Master in this somewhere around the same. And I'd have the same, I guess, sort of criticism as you, where that first 20, 30, you're okay, what's the thought process here? But yeah, once it picks up, it really picks up.
92, 93, Gooch, are we going higher?
I'm 5 stars, so that could mean 100, 10 out of 10, whatever formula you want to use to get there. But
you're going to put a number on it.
100 out of 100, then.
All right, great. There it is. Great.
There you go.
Hey,
what else would 5 out of 5 stars mean?
Yeah,
other than 100 out of 100?
Well, I don't know, because on Letterboxd, if you give a movie like an 80, it's like 4 stars. I don't know. Like I'm baffled by this.
Yeah, there's.
I don't know, Gooch. Yeah,
the scale. Klemmer asked the other day about like scale and how we're gonna do it. Our numbers will be very interesting and differing. This is different because this is a movie that it seems like we all like, unless Klemmer's about to drop like a 70 on it. But it is going to be interesting, like going forward. Like there'll be a couple where it's going to be this huge difference in what we rate it. But yeah, okay, 5 stars. Yeah, big.
Yeah, I'm at 100 out of 100. It joins 3 other Paul Thomas Anderson movies that I have rated 5 out of 5. Best of the year, I think so. Best of the century. That's a very tough label to put on to any movie, but I do think it's in the class of movies that you could claim that for. Just fantastic stuff all around. You guys will talk more in detail about, the performances, the score we're going to get into here in a minute. But the one thing I do want to highlight is just the pacing on this movie is just fucking insane. 2 hours and 50 minutes feels like, an hour and a half.
Agreed.
Once you get past that first act, this thing just zips and chugs along. Just brilliant stuff.
It's one of the quickest 3 hours I've ever sat in a movie theater.
That's a great point. I saw a movie today that was 2 hours, and it felt like it was 20 hours.
We'll get to that.
And yeah, I know we will. But you're right. For like Gooch is exactly right. That movie felt like an hour 30, like an hour 40. No, it's true.
Klemmer, last one. Where do you have it?
I love this. I have this as a 92. Echo everything everybody said. Especially like some of those other performances, like Regina Hall or The Interrogator, or especially Tony Goldwyn. Those just stood out for me. And then the stuff Regina Hall has even doing with her eyes is incredible. Like, she's just such a great actress. And obviously she can do comedy, but she proves she can do so much more here. As far as P.T. Anderson, I don't know, man. I think I might just be like my second favorite movie of his. I love Phantom Thread, and I really appreciate some of the stuff in Magnolia. I wasn't a huge Master fan. Boogie Nights to me is a clear number 1. So I don't have this as like 100 of 100. This isn't like a 5-star movie for me. But it's in that next tier. It's one of the top 10 movies of the decade for anybody. It's one of my 3 favorite movies of the year. This is fantastic. And I don't know. I had such a blast. It was exciting. It was fun. It made me think. It made me sad. It made me happy. It brings everything you want from a movie. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm at a 95. So everyone was at least a 92 or higher. Everyone with at least an A-. That's how you grade things. I thought this was excellent. There's not even really much more I can say based on what everyone else said. Paced great. Thrilling score, great acting, and I guess we'll lead right into it. Again, is there much more to say after I say give it a 95? I agree with everyone said, so why don't we just go into one of the biggest parts about it? We won't spoil it right this second, just a heads up. We will know when we're going to spoil it. I think the big question is, whose movie is this? Because 2 weeks ago before you saw this, would you have said Leo? And now do you say Sean Penn? Because like for me, he might be on the poster. I'll start with you, Klemmer, because we had you go last there just now. Is this Sean Penn's movie? And also, should he be a lock to win Best Supporting Actor?
So, I think I'm the only person that feels this way. I didn't love the Sean Penn performance.
Oh my God, Klemmer. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It was too broad.
How far into it? I don't want to participate in this.
It was too broad. I loved the Tony Gwynn level of evil.
Tony Gwynn was not in the film. Tony Gwynn was not in the film. I don't think he was in the film. He would have
been great though.
He was in Hard 8. That was the only one he was in.
I love Tony Goldwyn's level of evil, that sliminess. I love The Interrogator. To me, it was just a little too broad. Now, Fights had the same take, saw it again, and said, no, the second time, I see it. And Kirk, I know we talked about it. You said he needs to be that broad.
Of course, that's an over-the-top role. That's an over-the-top crazy role. It's the best supporting performance
what
this decade.
What the fuck would have happened?
Yeah, he's supposed to be muted? Like, what do you... this is a crazy role.
So here's kind of the pushback on that, is that so much... The Del Toro character is wild and out there. And obviously DiCaprio is kind of out there, but I feel like some of the other evil characters were a bit more grounded. It did take me out of the movie a couple of times. It was just so ridiculous. But I haven't done a second viewing this yet, and I do appreciate like every single person I've talked to besides myself feels a certain way. So I'm like, all right, I might just be wrong about this, and the rest of the movie is so brilliant. But for me, it was just a little too big. So for me, it wasn't one of the best supporting actor roles I've seen this year. But in fairness, I could be wrong.
I actually felt like Del Toro is kind of understated, honestly, from what I expected from the trailer and stuff going. I to me, it's the best. It's his movie, and we haven't mentioned Leonardo DiCaprio yet. It is crazy. I give him credit. Like in the middle of his career, he's like, I'm just gonna play another dummy, play it well, and like this is Sean. To me, this is Sean Penn's movie. It's the best supporting performance of this decade. I think I don't even know what else I would put up against it. You guys probably have better names than I would, but I can't think of anything.
You wouldn't put your favorite supporting performance up there, Jamie Lee Curtis from Everything Everywhere All at Once?
That was pretty good. That was a tremendous performance. Yeah, that was really great. That was really great.
Not even.
I saw your review, Kenjac. I know you're on the Sean Penn side of the aisle here.
Yeah, no, big time. I was super impressed by it. And I feel like you see, like, I not that I know like some giant fucking grouping of like old grizzled vets, but like the very few that I know and like old cops and stuff, they carry themselves in that same sort of way, like that little like waddle and stuff, and that like the way he talked and those little facial contortions he would make, like the twitches. I loved it, and I like his like character, the overtopness of it, like kind of being complemented by his like insecurity, because he's so like desperate to not be a pawn and to be like one of the bigger players. And that's what I like with like Tony Goldwyn and like the rest of the Christmas Club or whatever. They're like clearly the more in control, like sure of themselves, like top dogs. And Penn is so desperate to be one of those that it literally throws his whole life apart. And I loved it. I thought he was awesome in that. I feel like I haven't seen him in a movie in like 100 years after I saw something like a performance like that. I was really impressed.
Speaking of that club, shout out to Jim Downey, who had a nice role in this movie.
He's back, baby. He's
which is funny because this like a younger generation probably just knows him from the Conan clip of the Jeffrey Epstein, the New York
the financier,
which is like, so obviously like a younger generation may not know who he is, obviously how legendary he is, but it was cool to see him in this second one because he was in There Will Be Blood very briefly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it stacks up, I guess. There's other ones, whether Klemmer's right or who the rest of us are right in terms of like where he stands in the supporting, because there are other movies too. And actually supporting this year, for the most part, the favorites, I'm looking at it right now, we haven't even seen the movies. Like it's like Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly, Jeremy Strong with the Springsteen movie, which may end up being the death of two people on this show, that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Paul Mescal, Hamnet, which has a ton of hype. I see Andrew Garfield. That was. I got
to think Delroy Lindo's getting nominated. He should.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I think Sinners has a second wind in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you look on DraftKings right now, One Battle After Another is the only movie that isn't plus money to win the Oscars. It is the odds-on favorite right now to win Best Picture. I've actually seen Benicio in a bunch of odds and rankings right now for supporting actor. It'd be cool. It was a cool, like you said, understated kind of calm role, but like frantic at the same time. It's not what I expected from Benicio del Toro, because I expected like a big, like energetic, and it was the scene in his apartment where everyone's frantic and freaking out. He's just very calmly doing everything, but everything he's doing is like grabbing a massive gun. Like it's such a great scene. Are
we worried that if Del Toro got a nomination, that would, not worried, but would that split the vote? Would that hurt Penn's chances?
How much is really bought into a thing these days?
Yeah, I haven't really bought into that. I think they'll just. I mean, I feel like Penn's going to win this. Like, I feel like it's almost over. Like, open and shut.
What was the vote split worry we all had a couple years ago? We were worried that shitty movie about the swimming movie that we were worried
with Annette Bening and Jodie Foster.
Naiad?
Yeah,
Naiad.
Yeah, terrible movie that was. Oh my god.
Everyone's like, oh no, the vote split means Naiad's gonna win.
You know who was in that, Klemmer?
Who's that?
Ken Caminiti was in that movie.
Oh, really? Yeah. 19-less Padres get worse.
He's very good. Yeah, a lot of dead Padres pop up.
Was there any other standouts, Kenjac? Any other people that maybe stood out for you? I know people talking about Chase Infinity Shoes. I thought great in her role too. A pretty important role, obviously, in the movie, and no one really ever seen her before, so that was pretty good, I thought. So
like we were in to hype up Tony Goldwyn a lot, and I know Klemmer's very very eager to get to him. But the one that I think really stood out to me is that James Ratterman, who is a real military interrogator, first acting role ever. And watching that, I'm like, oh, I must have seen him in something. He's incredible. This guy's. He's so good. He's like chilling the way he's talking to these kids. And I think he was really good. And I think that you can give a lot of credit to PTA for that too, to get like an amateur actor. Granted, he obviously is professional in that field. I was really, really impressed by that. And I thought that role was very complimentary to Sean Penn.
His line in one of the interrogations, I think Gooch, I Want to See Your Thunder, you tweeted it, was a great line.
Oh yeah, you almost had this all figured out, and then you fumbled the ball at the 90-yard line at a fucking stank ass nunnery. No, he had so many lines like that too, where it's like he's just close to being a normal human being, but he is very clearly not a part of our society. Like he is a lizard in a human skin. Yeah, no, that was terrifying, and finding out that he was, working for the HSA for 30 years. That kind of comes as no surprise in how well he nailed that. I would also like to throw out an honorary MVP for Bruno, or was that his name? What's up, fucking homie? Kid at the door.
Pluto.
Do you like Bluto? That's what it is. Do I look like your parents?
My favorite scene with Leo. I thought he was like, where have you seen him? I think they might have asked him this. Someone might have asked us in a podcast interview I listened to recently. I forgot who it was. Asked him, like, you haven't played like the older, washed up, like dad. Like, they played like a father before, but not like, and just him being his protective dad. It was just a great delivery. Yeah, it was very good.
God bless Leo, like in his prime, like taking roles like this too. No, we've talked. No one else does it. Like, you're not going to see him in Marvel stuff. You're not going to see him in Star Wars stuff. All that stuff is fine, but he's going to make these movies, work with his directors. He's not afraid to be ugly or stupid or overweight or get pushed around or let somebody else give a great supporting performance. Like, just, like a quiet MVP of this. I mentioned everybody else, but like Leonardo DiCaprio is the lead actor in this movie, and it does kind of revolve around him, but yet he just kind of sits back and lets 12 different people steal the movie from at different times. Score
pretty great. I think Gooch, you mentioned it really quickly. Frantic score, and accompanied. I think I have it number 2. If I were to rank best scenes of the year, I think it's behind the music montage scene from Sinners, which is one of the best scenes I've ever seen. But the car chase scene in this movie is, which I guess we're waiting in spoiler territory. So if you haven't seen the movie, I would skip ahead at this point. But the music was probably at its best during that scene, which is an unreal scene. Which, again, you want to talk about fucking versatility. The fact that Paul Thomas Anderson can do what he does and make a Phantom Thread, then make a Licorice Pizza, and then make this like as good of a car chase scene as we've seen in a movie in, I don't know, like name a better one in the last like 5. Like it's pretty fantastic and ends in a way that you wouldn't expect. Like really subverts your expectations. So yeah, music was awesome in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that creeping piano too, as like you get into the rolling hills shot. Which Klemmer, we talked about that, right? The rolling hills. Holy cow!
Oh, it's the iconic part of this movie. Like it's like I said, the kind of Sinners. You remember that music era scene, and this year, and you remember that. I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff, about like how amazing Paul Thomas Anderson is with making a movie as specific as Phantom Thread. It's so defined. It's so perfect. It's about every stitch, and this is such great chaos. And the fact that he can do both those things is just incredible.
Good. You go ahead.
I was going to say, like name. Is he does the best director working today? Like you have Tarantino, but he puts out movies so rarely.
It's hard. Fincher's gone. He doesn't count anymore right now.
He's dead. He's dead in a fucking ditch.
My favorite director, active director, but he's not even active. So yeah, I remember after seeing back to back years, it was Rushmore, then Magnolia, Boogie Nights in between, and sort of the argument was like, who's the better Anderson? Like, which Andersons have a better career? Who's going to be more interesting? And like Wes Anderson is fine, but he makes the same movie in different ways over and over and over again. I mean, look at this guy directed The Phantom Thread and Licorice Pizza. I mean, this guy directed Boogie Nights in this movie. So, like, yeah, I mean, I would say his next 5 movies, I don't think I'd trade any other director for his next 5 movies for sure.
And there's also Paul Wes Anderson too, who Jeff and
that's true.
Oh yes,
yes,
creator of Underworld, among many other Mila Jovovich movies.
Directed the worst movie I've seen this year.
In the Lost Lands.
In the Lost Lands. It's the worst movie.
One of our it is. It's that is also my worst of the year. That's if you listen to mine and Kenjac and Gooch for a while's old podcast, Lights Camera Barstool, he was one of, not Paul Thomas Anderson, the other Paul W.S. Anderson was one of our 2 favorite directors, along with the flop comedic director Michael Titties, who was also
Michael Titties, correct,
a legend of the game. Final kind of thought here before we move on to another movie, which I think we're going to have significantly different takes on, though probably all the same take, is where we kind of have it ranked. Everyone kind of gave their ranking already. For me, I have it behind Boogie Nights and I have it behind There Will Be Blood, but it is one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like irrelevant at that point. Like I wouldn't, you could all give me your ranking. And like, I understand, like I'm not as high in Phantom Thread as others. Like Clem might not be as high on The Masters as others, but like in the end, I don't think there's like a real, like, should there be one considered like, oh, no, that should be his best. Like, that should be his number. I don't think there is.
I mean, There Will Be Blood is just so towering, though. It's just so, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is so huge in that.
It feels like the one that 50 years from now, like, will just last and hold up better than anything else he's made. It feels timeless.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that actor in a minute.
Yeah. But Boogie Nights is great too. I mean, yeah, I would put it, if you want to put it third or fourth, I'm fine with that.
I did a rewatch a year ago. It holds up so well. It's so well paced. It's so well done. Like,
is that a timing thing though too? Like, if Boogie Nights had come out and still been as well received 2 years after There Will Be Blood, would Boogie Nights be that movie? Or is it because of that performance and how massive Daniel Day-Lewis is that it does sort of just stand like a little above?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Boogie Nights is a young director's movie for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. But I mean, it's like, you know, but I think after that, it's kind of hard to put anything else he has inside that top four. There's some good ones, but I mean, I wouldn't.
You can find, like I said, expanded thoughts on our Letterboxd. They are below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening, they're in the description below. One battle after another, 95 from me, 92 from Kirk, 93 from Kenjac, 92 from Klemmer. Gooch gave it 5-star. Gooch kind of start putting numbers on things, but he gave it 100.
4.8 from the audience, by the way, Jeff.
4.8. Yeah, that's, again, this is one of those where I wasn't sure how the audience would feel, and then you see that this at an 85% from the audience, like at people, I didn't know. I walked out, I'm like, okay, I could see some people maybe not loving it because like maybe subject matter, you know. It is interesting too. We didn't talk too much on it, but I thought it was going to be significantly more heavy-handed and political after the first 20 minutes. They kind of just get you set up, and then once they make that flash forward, it is like, it's a little different. Anyway, excellent movie. Like, lived up to the hype. I don't know. Actually, one more thing. Did anyone like think it'd be this good when they saw the first trailer? Because I didn't. I mean, it's PTA, but I was like, oh, like I don't love what I first saw from this.
It's weird because like anytime one of our directors that we like gets like wades into anything that you could even perceive as like remotely political, like you kind of get worried. Like directors we've loved, like Adam McKay, we like a ton, and then he wades into the water and he just loses it. Sorkin loses it. Like certain directors and writers we like, that sometimes they just don't know how to do it. And PTA, I just feel like I was definitely a little hesitant. For sure, I would agree with you.
I mean, it's stupid. I stupidly kind of got caught up in this trailer stuff, and like it's PTA. Like I don't know why I worried about that, you know. But I did. I never connected to a trailer, and I was totally wrong.
Which is funny. It's not like it misrepresented the movie at all. If you go back and watch that first trailer, it is exactly what the movie is. It almost gives away the entire movie.
Which I think that was my concern. I'm like, can it be goofy and also like intense? Like yeah. It can.
It's hard to make a trailer for a movie like this because the movie is so unique. This is such a unusual movie. It's hard to market it, I imagine.
Yeah, that's character.
Hopefully it catches on more and more too, and more people see it. So it does build up to a pretty good showdown, which seems like for now at least Sinners, maybe one or two other movies at the Oscars. But if this is PTA's like coronation at the Academy Awards, this would be a pretty awesome one for him to win with. Smashing Machine, next up on the list here. You want to talk about a change in tone? Here's this. By the way, I'm going to read the synopsis last because the synopsis is the most perfect synopsis for this movie I've ever seen. Runtime 2 hours and 3 minutes. Directed by Benny Safdie. The Safdie brothers split up. One is making this movie. The other is they didn't split up, but they split up. Well, they split to make these two movies. They didn't like. It's not like Oasis. They don't like hate each other. But the other Safdie making the ping pong movie, Marty Supreme with Timothée Chalamet and Benny Safdie,
and Kevin O'Leary.
Yep, Shark Tank's own Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. Benny Safdie, who was by the way, he was in Oppenheimer, so forever a legend, but also in this year's Happy Gilmore 2.
Also a legend, yeah.
Which I'm sure he wishes he wasn't. Based on the 2002 HBO documentary, also titled The Smashing Machine. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, Ryan Bader made $2.7 million at the box office this weekend. Holy shit. Lowest all-time, I believe, for The Rock in a debut. 73% Rotten Tomatoes by the critics, 78% by the audience. IMDb 7.1, Metacritic 65, Letterboxd 3.4. Here is the synopsis. Story of legendary mixed martial arts UFC fighter Mark Kerr. That's it. That's all. Like that's perfect because that's what this movie is to me. I'm gonna start
the lie?
Like it's a why, who? Like this was. I walked out of this movie like what did I just like? What was the point? Like what was that? I gave it a 65. It's not a horrendous movie by any means. It's just kind of nothing. It's got some good performances. It looks great. Like, he knows how to direct a movie, but I've also seen the documentary. I don't know who else here has seen the documentary. And I respect that Benny Safdie, the creative liberties thing. I respect that you don't want to do a cliche sports movie, but sometimes you got to take a couple creative liberties, because this was boring and I mean, it was like, if I would have been like drunk, I think I would have been like, are they repeating the same scene over and over again at this point? Like, what is this, the same fucking thing? We'll talk. The big thing to talk about is The Rock. We'll get to that in a second. But I gave it a 65. Kenjac, what'd you give it?
I ended up on a 70. I think, like, when you make a movie like this, there's like a very specific balance that you need to hit for a biopic when, like, you look at the entertainment value of a movie. And I think in this case, they were loyal to Mark Kerr's story to a fault, which, like you were saying, you need to make a few creative liberties for the sake of, like, the entertainment value. I think otherwise you're just kind of making a dramatized documentary. And, you know, I get that, like, it's a real story, but, like, these ebbs and flows just aren't satisfying. Like, the real story is not, like, that is not satisfying on an entertainment level. So the story part I don't love, but the parts of it versus the whole I do. Like, I found The Rock's performance pretty, like, interesting and against type for him usually. And I like the production value across 2 different continents, like in Japan in the early 2000s and the US in the early 2000s. It looked great visually. It's just, yeah, it's just it was not structurally made to be entertaining or It's tough. It's tough to watch.
I won't spoil how it ends, but if you've seen the documentary, the end of that documentary and the movie are like a shot for shot same thing, which I think is crazy to do. I'm actually like, I'm shocked that he did that. Kirk, what'd you give it?
I gave it 62, and that feels generous. It's one of the most boring movies of all. It just is over and over and over and over, and I don't understand the point of it. Like, I get this guy has probably led an interesting life. I didn't see it. You know, it was, you know, he would be kind of quiet, and Emily Blunt would show up and be a bitch, and then he'd be kind of an asshole, and then they'd break apart, and the other guy would be like, oh, it's okay. The truth is, you know, if you had to make a movie, the other guy who's living with his wife, he's got his kids, he's at beck and call for Mark Kerr, he's been down, he's older, and comes back, and I don't like your spoilers away, but there's a big part with him at the end. That's a traditional sports movie. Like, I understand he didn't want to make a traditional sports movie, but, you know, I keep reading interviews with him or listening to the podcast, and where he references like Rocky 3 is an influence on this movie. And I don't, you know, Rocky 3 is one of my favorite movies. I'm not saying it's a great film, but like none of that is there. None of it. The Rock is pretty good. We'll get to that. But as a story, I was sitting there thinking, this is like the 9th time I've watched this same scene happen in this movie. Like, what is going to, and for something not to happen at the end of this movie that you're waiting for the whole time is crazy. I don't even, like, I get that it didn't happen. I respect that, but then don't make the movie. Like, you can also
want to see him checking out at the grocery store.
Yeah,
the real guy.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for these two guys, and at the end, like, he's just in the shower, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what? I want to see these guys, and I don't understand why it was made. So The Rock brought it to Safdie. And like, I get why The Rock wanted to make it. The guy's, you know, I guess kind of a complicated guy, but boy, this was a huge miss. And if Marty Supreme is great, I think we might have our answer here as to who the talent is in the family, because this was not good.
Yeah, this was a bummer. Gooch, what'd you give it?
Yeah, let me kind of launch off that. You'll hear our conversation with Benny at the end of this episode, and you can kind of hear his thought process in there, where I think he saw that documentary, and I think he wished he had made that documentary, but it already existed. And so he set out on this weird experimental filmmaking journey of trying to shoot a sports film in a documentarian style. And I think he does really succeed. Like, there's some really cool filmmaking stuff where it really immerses you from the 90s up to the 2000s in the way that they use different film stock, shooting on digital. It's very immersive. And I actually quite enjoyed that part of it. But the story, like you guys said, it just lacks too much. There's no narrative punch to it at all. And it's the drama that is there is just stuff that we've seen so many times before. So there's really nothing to latch onto here outside of The Rock's performance, because it is the biggest movie star in the world. He is good, but just not enough there for me to want to ever sit through this again.
Well, he's not the biggest movie star in the world anymore, Gooch. That's
I guess.
I guess
long,
not. Yeah, long Black Adam. That is
2.7 mil doesn't do it for you.
Black Adam, like we are. The Rock is but but that was
which might be the biggest takeaway from this movie. But yeah, I'm at a 65 out of 100. And I'm kind of on the same page as Kirk. It feels generous at this point, but I do think this is
it's not terribly made,
if nothing
right?
else.
Like it's not.
Really I think Gooch is right. It's really well made. Like it's directed well. Like it's just a boring. It's a well directed. It's as good as you can do with that story. Like you're right. Like the beginning, the first shot's the way it looked. Like Kenjac said, Japan. Like looks great. Like he's a talented director, but like it is. There is no. I don't even know what the story is.
Right. Klemmer, and I'll let you, Klemmer, kind of dive into the next thing, which is the Rock stuff. And I think the big question with the Rock stuff, for me at least, is I think we're going to agree good performance, but are we hyping it too much just because like, oh, holy shit, the Rock was an ass. He was actually pretty good. Are we like giving him too much credit just because we're stunned the Rock had a good like dramatic performance? And of course, what'd you give the movie as well?
Yeah, so I give this a 71. Everything you guys said was right. It's weird. It's like you have all these great ingredients to make a meal and it comes out just incredibly bland. Like I don't really know. And it's funny, if you look at the things, it's like, oh, substance abuse, relationship issues, fighting. Like that's Safdie brother. Like this should be, it's well made, it's well shot, this should work. And it just doesn't. Like for everything you guys said. As far as with The Rock's performance, he's really good in it, but there's such little that happens, and Kirk talks about how at the end he's in the shower, and you're like, all right, well maybe this movie's about the quest for peace, and that's what this is about. But then the title cards at the end, that might not even be the case. I don't even know what this movie's about. Yeah. And when you have kind of a unstable or unstable like why this movie exists, it makes the performance lesser because it's like, all right, then what were we watching? What was he striving to do? And I don't know. So yes, he was fantastic, but Jeff, you might be right. Like maybe we are just because it's so unusual for him to do that. And at the end of it, I can see this movie being forgotten between the box office being so bad and the movie really not connecting with anybody. The cinema score was B-. Like this doesn't. I could see this being just in the waste bin of history by December or January.
The thing with him in this movie is I do think he was really good, but I also don't think even if he was I don't think it allowed him to kind of expand because you're just kind of seeing it's almost like he released a reel, an acting reel, and just gave us like 5 of the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna give it another go. There was a fork in the road moment in the movie for me where I think if there had been different decisions made, I actually think it could have been great. And it was when he ripped the fucking door off. When he ripped the door off in the room.
Yeah, you're kind of waiting for that. You're waiting for that.
Right.
He's got this quiet menace the whole time. It's very good. He builds sort of this right. Yeah.
And he's sitting on the chair in the kitchen. She comes over, and then it kind of cuts quickly to his friend, and she's screaming on the phone that he like OD'd or he had like, something happened to him with the drugs he did. And it was kind of this weird, I was like, wait, what? Like, did I miss something? They skipped to this? Like, there was this moment where you feel like they didn't hit this lane that would have been the right path to take. And then from there, it was kind of like the same choppy thing of being repetitive. And I don't think it never capitalized on that part that I thought was probably the lead up to it being a better movie. And it never did.
No, I think that there's something that I feel they're on the right path with was Emily Blunt's character. Like the boxer's wife, the fighter's wife character, such a stereotype, and like they're always doing the same thing. In this movie, they gave her some depth. Like she's an asshole, and that's never the case in these movies. They're always the same angelic figure versus the fighter. And I think they had something cool there, and they just never really got that to fruition. I think, and there could have been something, but not there. But yeah, I think I would agree with you. There was definitely that little like they give you like it's almost like they tease you, like here we're almost giving you like a climax. We're almost giving you like an ebb and of thematic flow, but like you don't get it. You just kind of get what's again stuck to the story, which just isn't that entertaining.
See, I mean, you're right, Kenjac. That's different, but in some ways it's almost the same because she's then just totally like that. Like the other ones are totally angelic, but in this one, I need like a scene where Emily Blunt is like a human being. I mean, they make her out like she's a fucking. I'm not talking about I mean, I know the scene with Jungle Land playing with her, but I'm saying like I need a scene where she's just like a normal, kind of quiet. Like she just seems like a horrible human being the whole
Why
time.
is he with her?
Yeah.
Like we never know. Like what? Why is she? Why are they in this relationship at all? Why is she keep going back to her?
And she's
This movie
yeah, go ahead. No,
this movie needed something, and Emily Blunt and all these low cut tops was, I think, all they had.
Yeah, that was great. No complaint. But like, if you look at a lot, like Oppenheimer, obviously a great movie, but she's playing like the woman behind the man. In The Fall Guy, she's kind of playing like in this movie. Like, this is a really good actress. Like, I'd like to see her, kind of do something else here. This is I feel like beneath her. It felt like a waste of her talent.
You said this earlier, and I think a lot of people have echoed this who've seen it, is the Ryan Bader character is the character that almost sticks out as a better story. And I think that it's insane that comes to that, but I think there's a easy way to explain that is you have a lot of moments in the movie where you want to root against her because she's kind of being an asshole. But every moment I was like, man, fuck the Emily Blunt character. He'd be like, hey, you're not doing the cactus like maintenance right. Like,
yeah, the stuff in the pool.
This guy's a dick too. And I'm like, I kind of hate them both. And so I'm like, well, who the fuck do I root for here? And I got this guy in the background who is
I thought this was supposed to be skim milk or whatever. Yeah.
Like, all right.
No, you're right. No, but like that's why. How about you guys? But like, I was rooting for the other character. Like, I wanted him to win.
And
maybe
that
was Safdie's point. To his credit, maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but I don't think that's the road to success is to have your lead character, big movie star, rooting against him. I guess I don't think that was the intention, but yeah.
That's where the creative liberties is like, and Kenjac, you reference Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin famously talks about creative liberties and like changing things up and like, this is not a history book. You're telling a story. It's art that has history involved with it. And you can tell the main part of that story. You can tell the concept what you're trying to get across without needing to be beat for beat what happens. Like, why not have them fight at the end? Have them lose.
Or just do a different fucking movie. Just be like, what? Like Gooch, like it's like the documentary is excellent. Like whenever these guys try and make these documentaries into real movies, they almost always suck. What was the I liked it. The one I didn't like the movie with the guy walking across the
Man on Wire.
It's just like, the documentaries are really good for a reason. Like generally it doesn't work as well.
Hey, there's a really gripping documentary of real footage of a guy walking in between the Twin Towers. Here's a fake version with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah, we all hate him. But yeah, it was brutal. So
Smashing Machine, it is weird because it's one of those ones where you're not going to give it a bottom of the barrel score because it's a well-made movie. There's some good stuff in it. There's some good performances. The Rock will be right up there, I would assume, for an Oscar. I think even if you don't consider it to be one of the best of the year, it's one of those things where it's like, obviously, you got to assume he's going to get nominated, like the hype behind it. And, we got the 15-minute standing ovation this summer at one of the festivals.
Whatever that means.
Dude, we got to have a conversation about the fucking Venice Film Festival.
Oh, it's fake.
We got to have a fucking conversation. This movie cleaning up there. What the fuck?
Best director there, right?
Did After the Hunt clean up somewhere too?
Probably.
Because that's another one I watched. We're not talking about After the Hunt today. I watched After the Hunt. I was like, what the fuck is this?
The Rock, the reports were that The Rock was crying so hard that he lost bodily control, they said, at the 50. Literally, this was like reports. And I think Safdie won Best Director there, right? I think he won the Venice. So, I mean, right. 15. Imagine watching that movie, 9 minutes in, being like, all right, we got 6 more minutes of the standing ovation. This is how much this movie meant to me. I don't even understand it.
Yeah.
So one more thing, I see it's in if you're The Rock, so you kind of built. This has been a big deal for you. You've been pubbing this movie like crazy. What is he? Does he just go back now? Is it like Stallone after Copland? Does he say, well, fuck it, back to action or?
Movie, isn't he?
Well,
that's true. Yeah, he is supposedly. I mean, I don't know,
and
but
he's also doing another movie with Benny, I believe.
We'll see if that happens.
I don't know. It's weird. He obviously hit a point in his career these past few years where, general audiences, I think, were starting to see through the rockness of it all, the marketing arm of The Rock. And I think he's trying to gain trust with the general movie going audience. And, whether or not his efforts here are genuine, he really wants to be a great actor or not, I don't know. But he did put in the work. He really did put in the work, and he tried to do this. Sure. Yeah. But will he continue with it? This is a really bad bomb.
He's the best part of this movie, though. It's not. I don't think it's It's not his
No.
fault.
No.
I also don't think this is a movie you necessarily measure by box office just because it's such a niche subject. Like, yeah, it's The Rock, but like, how many people are huge fans of Mark Kerr or even MMA that are gonna like line up and go see this in the theater? So like, it
is kind of classic Rock too, though, where it's like, I know we did this a couple years ago with Adam Sandler, but like Adam Sandler had other dramatic movies before Uncut Gems. Speaking of the Safdies, like he had speaking of PTA, Punch Drunk, like he's had other things. I love that The Rock does like his first dramatic one, and the marketing machine on Team The Rock was like, this is it. This is the one. It's like, maybe do this one, and then the next one's the one that you put your entire weight behind to win Best Actor. I don't know.
I think box office matters too, Kenjac. I disagree with that. This cost $50 million to make, and this was promoted to death. You're not going to give the Safdies another check for $50 million again after this.
I think for them, yes. For The Rock, that I don't think that necessarily. He just wants to be recognized as an actor. I think his objective is different than Benny Safdie's in this case. Like he wants to be like, hey, I can act. And in this case, I think it works because every role he's taken for 20 plus years has been they create the role around the Rock persona. And this is the first role where he has changed the Rock persona to fit the role. And I think that is like a sign like, hey, he can act. And now he can go and do other things, hopefully for him, The Rock anyway.
He could always do like Jumanji 3 if he needs to.
I think he literally just said that today that they're doing the filming begins soon for that.
Definitely, that should not make. Yeah, right. Yes, I think he's doing that. So like, and then he can
do Pain and Gain too.
Pain and Gain. I'd watch the second one. Tony Shalhoub, get him back.
Very quickly before we move on from the reviews here. So obviously, big recommendation. I mean, first off, as always, see every movie in theaters you possibly can. But if we're going to pick one or the other, one battle after the other, that's not even fucking close out of those two movies. Justin, your score for each and then a max 3-word review for each movie.
For One Battle, I gave it a 48. And it's DNC Antifa propaganda.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Mashing, I give a 60. And worst blunt rock movie.
That's 4 words.
That's 4 words. So that's already a
an acronym count against the word count.
Oh, so okay. So that was we just worked in our first indirect reference to Jungle Cruise on this podcast by.
That's true.
What's going on there? Why are they in so many movies together?
Yeah, that is strange.
What the fuck is that?
Dale Arnold.
Yeah, I don't really understand the. Yeah, I mean, I assume. It seems like it's a Rock project all the way from you guys interviewed Safdie, but that's so maybe. I mean, I guess they worked together in Oppenheimer though too, Safdie and Emily Blunt. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, this part of the podcast will be known as Cinema. We will just be running down some movies. We won't go too long on these reviews, but just some quick hits, quick thoughts. So things that are in theaters or on streaming, what we think. I'll let you know if it's worth not just going to theaters, but definitely worth picking up that remote and turning on streaming, because some of them are not worth it, and I think the first one may fall under that. Play Dirty from Shane Black, starring Mark Wahlberg, the creator of the streetwear brand Municipal.
Yeah. Municipal. Let's give it the respect, yeah.
Also that prayer app.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Lakeith Stanfield, Nat Wolff, brother of the other Wolf, who actually yelled at me and Kenjac for not liking the Jumanji trailer a couple years ago. Speaking of Jumanji, Keegan-Michael Key. It's on Amazon Prime Video. Again, Shane Black, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Expert thief Parker. It's based on the book series Parker by Donald E. Westlake. Expert thief Parker gets a shot at a major heist, but to pull it off, he and his team must outsmart a South American dictator, the New York mob, and the world's richest man. It's 47% are on Tomatoes, 6.0 on IMDb, Metacritic 46, Letterboxd 2.7. I gave it a 41 out of 100. I think this movie stunk, and I actually was stunned when I saw people say like return to form for Shane Black. First of all, talking about Shane Black like he's fucking Martin Scorsese. He wouldn't return to fight. He's had a couple really good ones, and he's had a couple like stinkers. It's not like he has this crazy catalog. So yeah, 41 out of 100 for me. Klemmer, I think you watched it today. What do you think of Play Dirty?
Yeah, this is terrible. I give it 29. The only pushback I'll say, though, is like, so this movie's way too long. I mean, every minute feels like 10. It's just atrocious. Mark Wahlberg, you can see the dollar signs in their eyes. Like Tony Shalhoub, these guys are just completely checked out.
You can barely see his eyes. I thought Wahlberg was going to fall asleep at some point.
It's unbelievable.
Was he bored?
They're barely there. It's conscious. And it's, you wonder, like, with these movies, I don't know if they're on, like, the stream movies are just there, like, so you play with your phone while you're watching. Like, I don't watch movies that way. I'm like, when I watch movies, I shut the lights off, I get super focused, and I watch a movie. Like, this movie is, I think, meant to be just, a watch to the corner of your eye. And Shane Black, though, The Nice Guys is a really good movie. He wrote Lethal Weapon. Like, this is a guy that has a pretty great resume, albeit a smaller one, but has some really good movies in there. And Mark Wahlberg was in Flight Risk, and I know that movie wasn't very good, but he was pretty fucking good in it, and it was fun to watch. This is just a mess. This was awful. When Jeff, when you told me I had to watch that last night, so I watched it. I got through like an hour and 10. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I watched the rest of it this morning. It ruined my morning. This movie sucks.
What? Klemmer, when you think of Mark Wahlberg's career, you come to the defense of it.
No, I usually think of Three Kings maybe, or Boogie Nights. I don't know.
No, my point, of course. No, my point is that it was just this year that he had a decent performance.
Okay.
Like, it's not like this guy is like completely like...
Klemmer, it wasn't like on the waterfront. I mean, it was Flight Risk. I mean,
I know, but he was exciting and interesting in it. The movie stuff, he was by far the best thing in it. So he still has those chops. He made that, 6 months earlier. Like, he's still there. Like, this was just such
He didn't care about that one, too. He did not give a fuck about
he
this.
He is
giving. Dreadful.
Oh, my God.
He is giving.
What'd you give it, Klemmer?
29.
29. Kenjac, I'll let you talk about maybe the worst opening scene the most preposterous opening scene in the movie I've ever seen.
Dude. So fucking stupid. The dumbest, most half-assed heist into getting shot off a mountain into water, all CGI throughout the entire thing. So stupid. I gave it a 30 out of 100. And I think that that middle run, like you guys were mentioning, Shane Black, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Nice Guys, movies that really emphasize chemistry and character to having it, and just it's the opposite of that. This and The Predator, total opposite of that. No chemistry between anybody in this cast at all. And it just has this character devoid sheen that all these streaming movies have to it, where it's they do not give a shit about him. And I really hate it. And it's kind of Mark Wahlberg does a lot of movies like this. Was it Infinity or whatever? Or he'll have a random streaming movie that just gets thrown out there, and you're like, this actually was real, and people got paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to make it. And I couldn't believe it, man. Absolute fucking garbage. And I think Wahlberg needs to abandon these tough guy roles, because he's charming when he wants to be. He's crazy he wants to be in Oscar-contending movies like Flight Risk, but he's also when he wants to be cool, like a dad in Instant Family. He's charming. He's great in that. But these tough guy roles got to go. It's just that part of his life is over to me.
Kirk?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I'm looking at Wahlberg here since, he had the hit with Tom Holland. Okay. And you're thinking, okay, he's kind of back. Since then, Father Stew, Me Time, The Family Plan, Arthur the King, The Union, Flight Risk, and Play Dirty. That's what we've got from Mark Wahlberg. And Kenjac's right. I've always felt Wahlberg playing a tough guy is weird. Like Dirk Diggler is sensitive and kind of high pitched and weak, and that's kind of how I like my Wahlberg served. I've always liked him that way. Even Three Kings, he's kind of macho, but then he's very soft. Even The Fighter, he can be like that. So now he's still he thinks, I don't know if he thinks he has to be like Clint Eastwood or something at this point in his career, but you can see he literally doesn't care at all. This is a lifeless performance. Just 0.0 there. I don't know why he keeps doing these. I mean, I know why, but I mean, he's got at some point in his career, even The Departed, these guys match up with directors. Leo matched up with Scorsese, for example, or De Niro did the same thing. At some point, Wahlberg was like, Peter Berg's going to be my guy. and he spent 8 years working with Peter Berg, who, was a decent action director, and we just lost him. He's gone. I don't know if we can get him back. And now he's the app with the ashes on his head. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with this guy. He's nuts.
I thought he didn't want to do violent movies anymore, or he didn't
say that. He was going to do different types of stuff.
And then I'm not going to spoil this movie, God forbid, but there's
go ahead. I mean, come on.
I mean, at the end of the movie, he shoots someone, and the door is closed. We never see the killing, and I wonder if that's his choice because he doesn't want to, shoot someone.
Well, Flight Risk is pretty violent.
Yeah, but
yes.
I will say I don't know if he kills anyone in Flight Risk. Though.
No, but he's beating up. Isn't he beating up a woman in that movie at times?
Just beating up a
He's
woman.
Attacking.
Doesn't seem to want to kill women anymore though on screen. I don't know. It was just weird that was shot with the door closed. I don't know. It's just terrible. It sucked.
That fucking. What'd you give it, Kirk? Sorry.
22.
That opening scene on the fucking racetrack that's like a high school kid.
It's incredible.
Ocean's 11. He's like, let's make a sick heist movie, and has no idea what he's doing. It was terrible.
I didn't know that this was based on a book series, because he also did that movie Spencer Confidential, which was also kind of a similar type deal, right? And that bombed, and that was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yuck.
Terrible.
Gooch.
Yeah, I'm at a 20 out of 100. Mark Wahlberg, a fucking idiot. And I think the best directors know when to play to their actors' strengths. And Mark Wahlberg's a fucking idiot. That's why every time he plays an idiot on screen, those are his best performances. Boogie Nights, The Other Guys, The Departed. When he's a dumbass, it works. When he tries to be the superhero guy, he's not that. He just isn't. Also, one more thing. We've kind of covered this all. Did streaming movies always look this bad? They're getting worse, right? They're looking worse and worse.
It's terrible. That's what's shocking about Shane Black. You have a legit director who's, even the movies of Shane Black's like I don't love, like they look like this looks horrific.
And it was even worse. Literally, while that opening scene at the racetrack is happening, my mom is sending me pictures from Keeneland racetrack of like real horses watching the Breeders' Cup, and I'm looking at these monstrosities on screen. And then it's somehow not even the worst. I think the train sequence in the middle part of the movie is somehow even worse. When Lakeith Stanfield jumps out and just rolls across the pavement like a CGI like NPC figure in a video game. It's gross.
Yeah, bad movie. Play dirty. If you want to stream, it's on Amazon Prime, but I would suggest I'd stream other things first, for sure. Here's a movie that not all of us saw. We'll run through this one quick. Anemone, with Daniel Day-Lewis, directed by Ronan Day-Lewis. So,
oh, wow. Huh.
Interesting. Comes back doing a favor for his kid. Sean Bean in it, the legend himself. Also in it, 2 hours and 6 minutes. It's very limited release right now. A couple of us saw it over the weekend. This made $310,000 at the box office. Again, it's not in many theaters. Poor on tomato scores in the 50s and 60s. Letterboxd 2.9. Kirk, you can start. This was... this is holy shit.
The greatest actor ever lived in a, like, I don't know how many monologues he gave in this movie, but 400 of them in this movie. Sean Bean just sits there and nods the whole time. It's just an endless fucking movie. I'm dying to see Daniel Day-Lewis in the movie, dying to see him in the movie. Said he retired. He comes back. You're like, all right, this must be something. Trailer, like, okay, not bad. All right, maybe there's something here. I'm sitting. It's kind of in a way sort of a cousin. The Smash Machine. I'm like, is there is something going to happen here? Like what? So, okay, so another scene where him and Sean Bean are talking, and then Sean Bean nods, and Day-Lewis goes in this monologue. And Day-Lewis is great. He's great. He's a great actor in a horrible, horrible movie. The movie itself kind of looks like a music video anyway. It's like shot late.
Yeah,
it's another fucking
tone
horrible
and
movie.
Like the type of movie it's trying to be, I can't figure out.
Yes,
it's almost like Day-Lewis watched Phantom Thread and was like, I can try that. Like let me give that a spin, and it didn't work. Speaking of Tony Gwynn, I was gonna do Michael Jordan Wizards, but the top comment on Letterboxd says this is like Tony Gwynn coming back from retirement and playing for the team that plays the Savannah Bananas. Like that's right.
He comes out and gets a standing ovation.
This is as like bottom of the 40 out of a. What'd you give it? Sorry.
Oh geez, I 42.
Yeah, I gave it a 40. Kenjac, you were the other one who got to see it. This was a fucking bore fest.
Yeah, I give it like a 40, and I do like 20 points for Daniel Day-Lewis, who I think is great. Like he maxes out everything he can get out of the role, and then 20 points for some of the audiovisual stuff's really cool. Like he gets some really cool shots of countryside, some interesting music and stuff. But other than that, like there's just nothing there.
I thought there's 3 movies since Day-Lewis retired, 3 that he would have been great in. For sure, roles he would have been great in. He would have been great in Penn's role. Yeah, he would have been great.
Yeah, wow.
Would have been great in De Niro's role in Killers of the Flower Moon. Mm-hmm. And he would have been great as Frank Drebin in The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
He would have been great. He would have been great.
Could you imagine?
A great against type, serious guy. Probably not as good as Neeson, but he would have been great in that movie. And instead, I'm watching this where he's just sitting there brooding and the fire, and then it's like, and this, I mean, it's nice he's doing this movie with his son, but it was hard. I mean,
it was like a tome, dude. It went so long. Like every time I look up and I'm like, there's no way it's still going on. Like there's nothing happening.
Spent the last 8 years building fiddles and chairs to make this, and he just comes out of retirement and makes this movie.
I also don't appreciate him trying to gaslight us into believing that he didn't retire.
No, it was very
He's
clear.
like, I never retired. What?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Klemmer,
that's
sorry.
bullshit.
Yeah, is there any chance that he gets a nomination for this just because of the name? No, right?
No.
Nah, this movie's a gonzo.
Okay.
Like gone. Yeah, I don't think so. But I hope he works
I-
again the next 8 years. He's 68 now.
I saw and heard some reviews, and this is a good transition to the next thing we're going to talk about, Megadoc. Where people were like, Ronan Day-Lewis, you can tell he's got the crowd. I'm like, fuck off. You don't got to say it's good because Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, let's not do that. Come on. Megadoc. A movie which you want to talk about reviews that have not. Look, movies reviewing is subjective. I think have not aged very well. There's some funny reviews on Megalopolis that are up there that you're like, there's no way they still think this. Megadoc is the documentary following the production of Megalopolis by Francis Ford Coppola. This thing was fantastic, Gooch. This was what a peek behind the curtain on I actually would say one of the 5 most absurd movies, pound for pound. Like, I'm not counting like one of those rip-off like scary movie type movies, like pound for pound by like a real director with real actors. One of the most absurd things I've ever seen in my life, which got worse every time I thought about it. Megalopolis. But this is a very cool documentary if you can go find it.
Yeah, I will slap the must-watch label on this. If you're an A-lister, if you're seeing, multiple movies a month and you like going to the movies, you like movies, you will love this. Even if you didn't like Megalopolis, you hated it, or even if you loved it, because it is, like Jeff said,
honestly,
it is such an absurd, the level of access that Coppola gave to Mike Figgis to make this thing is just insane. I've really never seen anything like it. All the actors, for the most part, except for one, are very open and candid, especially Shia LaBeouf, who it's an Oscar-worthy performance by itself. And then Aubrey Plaza is just fantastic. It is very good. I'm usually not a documentary person, but this is so great.
Go ahead, Kirk.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It might be my favorite movie of the year. There's nothing like better than A Mess. Devil's Candy is a great book. The Making of the Bonfire of the Vanities, very similar to that. Julie Solomon got full access from De Palma, behind the scenes of Bonfire of the Vanities, and wrote this great book. And this is the exact same thing. You're watching exactly. You watched Megalopolis a year ago, and you think, how could this possibly be this sloppy and bizarre and weird and just off? Then you watch the documentary, you think, oh, well, this is exactly why it happened. It's funny. I just watched Project Greenlight season 2, where you see Shia for the first time as like a young kid. He's being interviewed. He's all happy. He's excited. Oh, here comes Hollywood. I can't wait. And you compare it with this, where he is just in Coppola's face the whole time. And Coppola's doing the thing where he's like, hey, just do it. We'll do it this way or that. It's just art. If it's a mistake, it's great. And Shia's like, no, like, I want to sit here. Like, and they're just going back and forth. And yeah, you have a lot of Aubrey Plaza. And my guy, 2 years in a row, he's in Reagan, one of my favorite movies of last year. And he's in Megadoc. My guy, John Voight, comes in and brings it. And Dustin Hoffman out of left field for the last
The old guys were great.
Oh, Hoffman and Voight. It's a reunion. It's a fucking reunion. And they're both like, like what are we doing here? You can't capture the madness of it unless you see it. It's crazy. It's probably like a 96 for me or something. I love stuff like it. I wish it was 30 hours. It was so great.
Thoughts from anyone else who's thought? If not, definitely check it out. This is, again, I think Gooch, what Gooch said is perfect. Even if you don't like documentaries, like if you like movies, this is kind of like a must see, because a messy behind the scenes must see. A good example, I've never seen The Phantom Menace behind the scenes. What a peek behind the curtain that is. There's actually George Lucas, some good stuff.
Oh, MVP Lucas in this movie too. Oh, yeah. He's
the
great.
Lucas stuff was fascinating because it's him. He's almost taking shots at Coppola in a way. And the way he compares his commercialized career to, he's like almost defending, the way he sold out, or I guess maybe it didn't sell out, but the way he built his enterprise on franchising and selling merch. And then he's like, Coppola doesn't have any fucking money. These are the seeds he sowed. Like, he's kind of dunking on it.
I've heard him say that quote a million times. He's like, Francis Ford Coppola says, like, Jacques Tati was bankrupt when he passed away, financing his own last movie. And he almost says it but he keeps saying it during like the making of and like the pre-release. And I'm like, when he was saying it, did he like know this was going to be a fucking shit? Because he's making another movie now. This wasn't like his last thing.
I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know.
That's just crazy. One more movie. An unexpected movie review here. before we talk about the trailer for Jay Kelly. Klemmer saw the Taylor Swift movie, which is the album release movie. Klemmer, please give almost word for word what you told us about this movie.
Well, the issue with this movie is you get access, but it's so limited. So you just like obviously there's not going to be any honesty in a movie like this because it's an album release. I get all that. But you're seeing her making behind the scene videos, but you're not seeing the why. Like, why is she's the biggest star in the world. Why don't we know why she wants the music video to look a certain way? That's so much more interesting. And there's a lot of these lyric videos, but behind the lyric video is just a 20-second clip over and over again, like almost like you're at a bad karaoke bar. So like, I really don't understand, if it was more Taylor Swift, it would have been so much better. She directed it. Her credit says directed on it. So like, I don't know why this wasn't more of her insight. So yeah, I give us a 46.
He sent a review to us in a group chat. It's made my favorite review of a movie I've ever read. He said, "Just saw Taylor Swift movie and found it pretty toothless." I do love that you walked out with like these people seeing it. They're like, "Oh, the album's out." You're like, "That movie, what a fucking waste." What a waste.
Clemmer, I didn't see it. But Clemmer, I didn't see it. But like, compare it to like Madonna when she made Truth or Dare at her peak. Like, she wasn't afraid to look bad in that movie,
Right.
Yeah.
Not even to look bad. Like, you could even frame it where you look good, but you're at least making choices or explaining why. We never get that explanation of why. And that, I feel like it's kind of a lost opportunity. I guess there is, I was talking with Keegs about it. I guess she said they are making a documentary, so maybe we'll get more of the why.
Oh,
there.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be really why.
Yeah, it's album promotion, and that's just kind of.
It doesn't need to be negative. It just explained to us a choice.
Boy, she figured out a system though for gaming that box office. That's for sure.
33 million this weekend, number one movie of the week.
Benny Safdie has to want to just.
He's
got to be. I mean, he just drew the shortest stick with. I mean, one battle after another coming out the week before, having just insane word of mouth. So people are going to flood in, and then Taylor Swift 2 weeks before this movie comes out, just being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna release my most anticipated album yet with a theatrical experience. It's gonna absolutely take all the screens and all the money." That sucks.
Trailer thoughts on this trailer, and then we'll move on. We'll do a couple quick hits here. Just go down the list of anyone some people have seen. But in terms of expanded thoughts, Jay Kelly. Famous movie star Jay Kelly and his devoted manager Ron embark on an unexpectedly profound journey through Europe. Along the way, both men confront the choices they've made, relationships and loved ones, and the legacies they'll leave behind. Hits theaters November 14th for a very brief release window, and then Netflix December 5th from Noah Baumbach. George Clooney's in the movie, playing what seems to be George Clooney. Adam Sandler getting a lot of hype for his role. A lot of talk that he'll get nominated. Laura Dern, Billy Crudup, Riley Keough. There's a lot of random huge names in this movie. Kenjac, did the Jay Kelly... I don't know where I stand. I got to still think a little more about this, but where do you stand on the Jay Kelly trade? Did it do a lot for you? Because this movie has a lot of hype, like Oscar hype behind it.
It's weird because like I like everything involved, right? Like I like Clooney to a degree. I like Adam Sandler a lot, and I think he's proven he can do dramatic roles, like at least in his filmography so far. And I like Baumbach, so like I feel like he's good with scripts as far as like building interpersonal relationships. So like all the ingredients are here, but when I watch the trailer, I'm just kind of like not into it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just maybe the story isn't necessarily me, like not like hopping off the board. But we just talked about how we kind of had the same feeling with one battle after another. So maybe we're just being dumb here, but I don't know. I again love all the crew, so maybe that's something.
Yeah, it's honestly that's probably where I stand. It's like I want to like all this, but like I don't know if I do. Klemmer, did you like the Jay Kelly trailer? Like, did it do much for you?
No, Hollywood movie stars problems isn't that interesting to me. Especially, look at this year with the best movies. Just like really original, interesting ideas about mostly, people that aren't incredibly wealthy, right? Like Sinners or Weapons or One Battle After Another. This George Clooney being sad movie star. This doesn't. I'll watch it and I'm intrigued because of Baumbach and I like Clooney a lot and I like Sandler a lot. But this is not like highly anticipated for me.
Kirk?
Yeah, it felt AI-ish to me, honestly, so far. Like, it just feels like a bunch of people kind of... And I think Baumbach's in a little bit of a slump. Maybe he bounces back. I think the initial reviews weren't great, but then it got a little more momentum here in the last week or so in New York. So I hope so. I hope it's good. I love Clooney, but it just seems like... Yeah, it just feels familiar to me. It just doesn't feel interesting to me. It feels like it's going to be a a miss. I hope not. I'm all in. If it's great, but I am not feeling it yet.
Gooch.
Yeah, same. Just echoing the same thoughts as you all. This is doing nothing for me, despite I'm a Clooney guy, even though I think his filmography kind of lacks quite a bit.
Yeah, it has
Yep.
Yeah,
What was that fucking
it's a weird
space movie
filmography
from like around COVID? What was that?
Oh, that's
that was
right.
dreadful.
Midnight, something midnight,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah,
terrible.
Project was
He's
it
in, like, an
Project Midnight?
Alaskan-
Yeah, I think it's Project Midnight. I think that's right. Yeah,
Bore that was.
terrible.
Just doing nothing for me, and it's got to think doing nothing for anyone. It seems like. I think there's a conversation to be had about Netflix again. I think this year they're going to get shut out once more, and I think heading into this fall season, they had what seemed like a really good slate that is turning out to be a lot of directors churning out, I think, uninspired shit, at least from initial reactions. I can speak to one of them, which I'll talk about here in a second. Catherine Bigelow's new movie, Woof. But yeah, Netflix, once again, just doesn't seem like they can figure this out.
Well, we can start with you. Just a quick things if people have seen. Just give a thought or two, Max, before we move on to our ranking. You were at the New York Film Festival. What did you?
Yeah, so I've seen a few things. Worst of them all would be House of Dynamite with a huge ensemble cast. Just a huge stinker. It's a very frustrating movie. The more I think about it, if you thought The Smashing Machine was unsatisfying, good Lord, this movie is just nothing. Just builds towards nothing, and it's a movie about a bunch of countries nuking each other. It's crazy that I don't know how that happened. Two that were very good. If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You. That is starring Rose Byrne and Conan O'Brien and A$AP Rocky from Mary Bronstein, who's a frequent collaborator with the Safdies. It has a lot of that Safdies energy. It's very visceral. I mean, it's almost like it feels like, that Uncut Gems feeling where you're sitting there on edge the entire time. People are calling it Uncut Gems from Moms. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's a good movie, and I definitely recommend it. And Blue Moon, starring Ethan Hawke. He gives a very good performance. He's a dark horse, I think, for a nom. He transforms, and that movie is just him in a room talking for 90 minutes, and he delivers. I mean, he's one of our best. Also might be seeing the other staff. There's a situation arising tomorrow night where I have tickets to this secret screening. It could be one of two movies. Could be Marty Supreme, which would be insane.
I'm very excited to hear how Marty. I mean, that is one I if you told me it was complete ass or Best Picture lock, I mean, no idea where to land on that. None.
Which, hoping for that, it could also be The Testament of Ann Lee, which is getting good reviews, but the gap in excitement between Marty Supreme and The Testament of Ann Lee is quite large. So keep your fingers crossed for me.
Kenjac, you seen anything we haven't mentioned yet?
Not movie-wise, but Task has been really good on HBO. Really good show from the same people that made Mayor of Easttown. And Peacemaker is kind of, again, we talked about it earlier, but or a couple of weeks ago or something. Just not a great season so far, but the last two episodes definitely picked up a little bit.
Klemmer?
Nothing new right now, no.
Kirk?
Well, I did see with my son Harry, we saw Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D on October 3rd.
That's awesome.
He's a huge Friday the 13th fan, so we went to the theater. Loved it. Great franchise. Tremendous. Please bring it back. Oh, they're doing the TV show. They're doing the prequel with Linda Cardinelli's playing the mom. So I'm looking forward to that. So we did see that. And I just watched, I've been trying to watch as much Robert Redford as I can. I watched All Is Lost for the first time in forever, and it's just fucking great. He's so
Awesome.
great in the movie. Incredible.
Awesome fucking movie.
One quick last recommendation, Nebraska. For some reason, I had never seen it.
Oh, really?
I saw it last week for the first time.
I love
and
Nebraska.
was completely floored. It's so brilliant. Will Forte is so good. Bruce Dern's incredible. It just left me. It left me really. It was just a phenomenal movie. I know everyone's already said that. I should have seen it a long time ago, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Two Apple TV things. Actually, a couple Apple TV things real quick. The Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera, a survivalist thriller. It's not horrible.
Okay. Is that
it's not
Greengrass?
terrible. It's nothing great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Apple TV. It's about like the fires in California. It's and kind of surprising that like McConaughey did something like that, but it's kind of neat to see him do something a little different than what he's done recently. And then just some of the shows on Apple. The Momoa show is fantastic. Slow Horses, I still think, is one of the best things on any platform, and that's back this year. And of course, if you're not watching the morning show, boy, are you missing out. What a pile of steaming shit that is. One of the worst things ever made. And boy, The billions of dollars Tim Cook pumps into the morning show on Apple TV Plus to keep that going is unbelievable. So yeah, that's that.
Oh, Kirk, I just looked up that show, by the way, just to not to derail a little bit. The guy that created that Friday the 13th series, his name is Brad Kane.
Yep.
And the biggest thing he has under his name is that he was the singing voice of Aladdin in the animated movie.
Okay, hey, don't bum me out, Kenjac. You know,
No, maybe I'm just saying. Maybe he's been saving us his whole
that's
life.
true. This is his moment. This is
uh,
the project of his career.
Chief Awards is my Moa thing, by the way. I had this slip of the mind. You know what's actually I'm briefly a little excited for? I'm actually kind of excited for the Pennywise, the It series.
Yeah, that could be good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. It could be terrible. Like they show the Shawshank prison bus. And I'm like, it's gross. Like, all right, we get it. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't know. I get kind of good vibes off that. All right, final segment here. Our last segment, we're gonna do a ranking, a list, top 10 movies of 2025 so far. Here's how it works though. Before the show, I did a random drawing of who goes first, who goes second, who goes third. So we all have 2 picks on the list. So one person can fuck everything up. It's a snake, a little bit of a. It is. It's a snake order here. So we will start with number 1. Kirk, you get the first pick. What is? And this is ours. Like this is going to be on Letterboxd. You can go to Letterboxd. We're going to make a list. The Letterboxd handle is @proj PROJ big screen. We will have this list on there. We have to all put our fucking name on it. So this is. It's just keep that in mind. What is our number 1 movie of 2025 so far?
Is Wolfman this year? Or was that last year? I'm going to say Sinners is the number 1 movie of the year so far. I think it's for me. It is. I'm
happy that that's number 1.
Yeah. For me,
is that everyone's number 1?
Yeah, it's like 1,
It's
2, or
not
3.
mine.
Like,
Well, Gooch must have PTA number 1, right?
I do.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like Sinners, is it close?
It's number 3 for me.
Okay, so yeah, that's okay. I figured we kind of be in the same in the same
Like
ballpark. Speaking of rankings, real quick, I just wanted to note, an Anemone I have ranked right with Alto Nights and Honey Don't. By the way, just right. That's the perfect grouping of like boring. Like
what if instead of Daniel Day-Lewis in the movie, the lead is whoever pick Vincent D'Onofrio? Like is it even? Does it get like a 4?
Does it go to the theaters? Like,
it comes like does it get a 2?
Like it's bad. It's bad.
That could almost be a Travolta movie, like in with like one action scene, like right to video.
Kenjac, what's our number 2 movie of 2025 so far?
I'm kind of caught between 2. I think it would be One Battle After Another. Just getting the second and third act, you could put up against anything. I think this year. So I'm very comfortable putting that at number 2 for us. And I feel like we all just glowed about it. So I'm pretty comfortable with it.
That's my exact 1-2 right now. It's Sinners, One Battle After Another. So there's 2 movies this year I've given a 95 out of 100 or higher. And it's that and Sinners. Sinners is at a 97. I have the third pick. I think this is probably people's 2 or 3 as well, right around there. Maybe I'm wrong. 94 out of 100 for me. Weapons is actually my actual number 3 too. And is our number 3 on the list. Weapons was... It actually, for me, I had a lot of people online were excited about it, but it kind of like went over my head. Like I was like, I know it's coming out. I didn't have the hype hit me. So, and that just surprised me. But I mean, people were talking like this could be great, and it ended up being fantastic. So, yeah, Weapons at 3. I think we're pretty happy with that.
Yep.
It's gonna start to get dicey soon, I'd imagine. Klemmer 4.
Don't do it, Klemmer.
Yeah, so there's a huge drop off.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, Klemmer.
The top
that
3.
Fucking Chuck guy dancing. Don't do that. Don't
Not
do it.
Chuck.
Don't do
Oh,
it.
it's not. All right. Okay. I was
Not gonna be
convinced
Chuck, you guys.
Life
Not
of
gonna be
Chuck
Chuck,
was
you
about to get put on this list at 4.
We're not in the back end yet. I do like Life of Chuck, but no, I wouldn't do that to you guys this early, at least. I'm going to go with Caught Stealing. I really liked Caught Stealing. I thought it was the most accessible Aronofsky yet. I thought it was a blast in the theaters. I enjoyed the hell out of it. You guys... Is that where do you guys have Caught Stealing?
I have Caught Stealing at 49, 76 out of 100.
4th?
It's not in my top 10.
Suck, Klemmer.
Gooch.
Movie. What do you have?
I didn't
Look, the movie.
I actually would rather do Life of Chuck.
Oh
No.
I
Caught
don't know.
Stealing. You guys really didn't like Caught
It was
Stealing?
fine. It was fine. It was fine.
yeah, it was okay.
It was fine.
I liked it.
It's like an ideal Redbox movie.
No, it's not. It was shot really well. Stop it.
Where did I have it?
Klemmer overwhelmed in the theater watching it, just overwhelmed by the movie.
I was. Had everything you want. 1998, New York, baseball is great.
That's what it is. If he was wearing like a fucking like
in the Mad Dog
a Knicks hat or Jets hat, it would have been nowhere near the top. All right, wow.
And in old Yankee Stadium instead of Shea Stadium. Yeah.
Yeah. Gooch, you have back-to-back. We'll snake if you have number 5 first.
Starting with number 5, I'm glad I was able to get this in here. Don't love that it fell, but Eddington. I get where people have started to make comparisons between it and One Battle After Another, but I do think they just go about showing modern America in like very different ways outside of the Western setting. I think it's really brilliant across the board. Great act, great performances. And it's a movie that I just have continually thought about different parts ever since I left the theater for the second time. Really great stuff. I don't know if it'll stick around, but I think it's a very large step up from Ari Aster's last movie and one of my favorites of the year. So number 5, Eddington. No.
I like both. I love Eddington. Eddington's 4 for me. I have it at 9. I love Eddington, but again, Eddington's one of those ones where would I suggest it to a mass audience? No. Because
I'm still not sure where I am on it. I need to see it again. I'm still not sure where I am.
I saw it twice. Saw back-to-back days. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I will say, whether you liked it or not, shout out to Ari Aster too for just trying to he makes anything.
Oh, for sure.
And to go from Hereditary to Midsummer to Beau is Afraid to this, that is like so. And for him to make like kind of a take and viewpoint on this world in a negative, cynical way, and then you have PTA do it in a much more positive way, which we don't really talk about that with One Battle for Another. The fact that it ends, where typically so many movies like that these days end in such a negative, fucking just depressing down way, and that ends on a high note. It is a cool contrast of things that kind of have a similar look on like society and stuff. So, all right,
did you like it more your second time, Jeff? Because I didn't love it, but I wonder if I'm just like the ending was like I thought the third act was so weak, but maybe if I saw it the second time, I'd appreciate it more.
I'm not an Ari Aster apologist, but I do tend to like his movies more than I think. If you listen to our old podcast or if you follow my reviews on Letterboxd, and if not, you'll learn as we go on. Like that type of shit is very much my bag. Like that's what I love. So, 5, Gooch. You have back-to-back.
6 will be.
Right.
I know some people have soured on him, but the Phoenician Scheme, Wes Anderson's Phoenician Scheme.
No! Come on!
What the fuck is wrong
I will
with you?
stand up for it.
What the fuck?
Listen, Phoenician Scheme.
Have you seen 5 movies all year?
I'm taking this name. I want my name off this list.
Cod stealing is at 4.
That's
all right,
criminal.
we can
That's
deal with
criminal.
the Phoenician
That's
Scheme
criminal.
at 6.
No, you can't. Phoenician Scheme stinks. No one here liked that movie.
There's no
I don't even
baseball
like
in
it.
it.
I did. No baseball in it.
I actually like. To Gooch's credit, I liked it more than Caught Stealing, but yeah,
I like the one last
it's
year.
not
I like
close to my
Asteroid
top
City.
10.
I like Asteroid City more than that one.
Agreed.
I liked Asteroid City too. I think there is something happening with Wes Anderson. I get why people say he's doing the same thing over and over again, but I do think he is I think getting better at what he does. Like it's like Steph Curry extending the range on a 3. Like we see him hit 1,000,000 threes this season, and at some point maybe it does get old. But I'm still impressed.
I'm
still impressed by Wes.
You're not bored watching
I am not.
That's
and I
crazy.
fucking loved Benicio del Toro's leading performance.
He's had a great year, that's for sure.
I really loved it.
Clemmer,
Bummed out by that.
7.
I'm
We're on a run
more
right
about
now.
that than
This list is
Caught
over.
Stealing.
It's going to be Chuck or it's going to be Chuck or something else. Has to be.
It's my pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Long Walk.
Oh, okay. All
Don't
right.
make fun of me now. Oh, yeah, exactly.
I
It's a good pick.
wouldn't put it that high, but yeah.
Is this? Where? I thought Life of Chuck was like number 1 of the year.
You loved it. You were dancing around
I
like
have
he
Life
was.
of Chuck 7th right now. I have Presence 6.
Okay.
I have Black Bag 8th.
Okay. Nobody cares. All right, go ahead.
You just asked. You
No,
just
I didn't
asked.
ask. I didn't ask your 8th best movie.
You just asked.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm giving you a little
Now,
bearing.
since we've veered off the path so much, I was between 2 here. One I won't say because I think it might drop in the list, but I'm going to go with one of my 5 movies that I put at 90 or 100, 90 or above. I also realize that this is not for everyone, not everyone's sense of humor, but I fucking love it, and that is Friendship with Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. I love this movie, and it's also shout out to this movie too because it's picking up some like culty steam already too. Just that garage scene, the extended cut of that garage scene is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever watched. I love this movie.
He's in Gin Pop.
Perfect. Also, the best thing of that garage scene is there's one picture on the wall in that garage, and it's the picture of the Situation Room when they're watching Osama bin Laden.
Bin Laden.
That's all that is. It's a small printout of that picture. I love it. I get it. And Tim Robinson's not for everybody, but I love the mix of this being a super like serious like buddy movie, but also the ridiculousness of Tim Robinson. So yeah, I'm gonna put Friendship at number 8. I love that.
I have this 11th. I really like this movie a lot. That's a great pick.
Yeah. I had fears of, as a gigantic Tim and Eric fan, I had a lot of fears this would be Tim and Eric. Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie has a lot of funny moments, but even as a big fan, I admit it's one of the dumbest things ever made. I was worried that that's what it'd be, and Friendship was not that. So Kenjac, number 9.
This is a movie I have high, but it's weird because like it's not a very rewatchable movie, but I don't think you can really factor that in too much. But I loved Warfare. I think Warfare is one of the most like
that was my other one. That's what I'm glad I didn't say it. Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those like horrifying war movies I think I've ever watched. Like, and it was so like grounded in realism, and like I love the depiction of it because like typically you have like ebbs and flows, like you're getting character development, like and this really just isn't that. You're just stuck with these guys for 24 hours in absolute hell, and like you feel it come across through the action versus hearing people say shit out loud. I loved it. The whole cast, which was like that grouping was insane. Like all like teeny bopper TikTok guys, but they all crushed it. Every single one of them top to bottom. And a guy we love, Cosmo Jarvis, I thought particularly was excellent. So really liked it. Not a movie I think I'll ever rewatch because it's so heavy. But man, it's good. And Garland, I think combining with a real Navy SEAL to depict that, I think was a really cool combination. And I really loved it.
I've been surprised by the amount of people who have seen that, who I expected to not love it, who said they've really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it was good. Very good.
Very different. Alex Garland he's a fucking good filmmaker. Yeah, Warfare was another A24 movie. Really solid movie.
So much better than Civil War. I thought Civil War was
so much better.
I'm not a huge Civil War. Yeah, I think Gooch, I know you like Civil War. I was the same thing, so I liked this better than Civil War. Yeah.
Civil War is so predictable. You just knew it was going to happen. You're kind of weird.
Yeah, but that Sturgill Simpson needle drop was so cool.
That one song, that all 100 points.
That was great.
Kirk, number 10, rounded out.
Wait, you took the photos of the motherfucking Antifa, right?
I'm willing to be collaborative here. I have between 3 movies: Megadoc, Black Bag, and the movie I really liked, Predator: Killer of Killers, the Predator movie from this year, which I really liked. So, what do you, Klemmer? Which one would you pick of those 3?
I've only seen one of those movies. I've only seen Black Bag.
Okay. Did you guys see the Predator movie?
Oh
yeah. Predator's awesome.
It was great, right?
Yep.
Dude, that franchise is fucking back. Apparently, the new one with Elle Fanning is also very good. Coming out in like 2 weeks.
I'll put that at number 10.
I like that. I like that too. Black Bag would have made sense as well.
Black Bag is great. It's great. Yeah.
So our list.
Yeah.
So that's on Hulu. Predator: Killers of Killers. If you haven't seen it, awesome animated movie. Talk about a franchise that fits animation perfectly. Like just awesome. Number 10, Predator: Killers of Killers. Number 9, Warfare. Number 8, Friendship. Number 7, The Long Walk. Number 6, The Phoenician Scheme. Number 5, Eddington. Number 4, Caught Stealing. Number 3, Weapons. Number 2, One Battle After Another. Number 1, Sinners. That's our. The combined list is going to be good. This is going to get really contentious as we move, because there's a lot to pick from here. Next week we're doing most anticipated, but when we go forward, we're picking best. Of course, like this is the combined.
So, Klemmer, if Caught Stealing won Best Picture, you'd be like, that makes sense.
Would you all like to hear?
Aronofsky gets his bouquet. I will say a huge drop off after the top 3. So I wouldn't say it makes sense, but I wouldn't.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Black Bag is much better movie than Caught Stealing, Klemmer.
Oh, I enjoyed Caught Stealing more. I think Black Bag, but like now we're arguing like very good movies. Like they're both in the same tier.
No, they're not. Whatever. They're not.
For me, they are. Yeah, For me, they're like the same tier. I think those top 3 though are like quite a bit above everything else.
Would you like to hear our fan rankings? Where our fans stand for the top 10 on the year? All right. At number 10, we have Friendship. Number 9, 28 Years Later. Number 8.
Yeah, I like that.
Number 8, Warfare. Number 7, Ephus.
Klemmer, you haven't seen Ephus?
No.
Whoa,
I
what?
did a screening of
I
that.
know.
Remember?
What?
Clemmer, stop going these fucking stupid movies because there are
You saw
1,000 screens.
Gabby's Dollhouse. You saw Gabby's Dollhouse.
Yeah, I did. It's in 1,000 screens. It was terrible.
Taylor Swift thought.
It's a base. Ethos is like made for you. Like
The guy who made Ethos,
Mark
the guy who
Wahlberg
made
last
Ethos probably dedicated the movie to you.
like it's literally made for just you.
Sounds wonderful.
Nobody else. You haven't seen it yet?
No, I gotta see it.
That's crazy.
I'll watch it this week.
Go ahead, Gooch.
Number 6, F1. Number 5, Superman, which surprised me a bit. Number 4, Sorry Baby. Number 3, Weapons. Number 2, Sinners. And number 1, One Battle After Another.
Okay, I was wondering if it would. I wonder if that's recency, but that does make sense. I've seen it. It's kind of at the top for a lot of people, so
Yeah.
it's a good list.
So if you want to be part of our fan rankings, by the way.
It was the
One note.
saltiest popcorn of all time in Watertown,
Oh,
Massachusetts.
Clemmer picked an awful theater. Terrible on
It
the
was a
phone
great
the whole
theater.
time.
We had a great experience. It was just buddies hanging out. It was a good time.
What were you saying, Gooch?
I was just going to add one note. If you want to be part of our fan rankings, it's just a follow from us on our Letterboxd.
Yep.
Comment on this YouTube video or Spotify or wherever you're listening, and drop your favorite quote from One Battle After Another or something, and then leave your Letterboxd username. I will follow you.
Yep. Definitely follow us on Letterboxd. We're gonna be very active on there. Kirk, we just had you join. We're all on there. The names are below. Like I said, you can find them. Go give us a follow. Other ones from the year, by the way, just because Superman. I think a lot of us enjoyed Superman. Bring Her Back, Naked Gun. There's some. Oh, it's another one. I'm going to tell you one quick before we go. I was thinking about this today in the car. You know what's a Oscar battle? Maybe not as interesting as Best Picture or an actor race, but I actually think it's a very intriguing. Like, what the fuck would win? Is Best Original Song this year. Because the front runners for that are kind of from the same space. You're going to have Cynthia Erivo's original song from the new Wicked movie. You're going to have Ariana Grande's original song. That alone is, like, I think pretty interesting if you're a fan of the Oscars. But then you have these 3 fucking songs from K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh. You have Golden, which has been number one on the Billboard for 15 weeks. That is as close of a, like, what the fuck could win as any category I think I've seen in a while. Like, I actually have no idea what will win out of that, because I'm assuming the 2 songs from Wicked are going to be well received. Like, you just have to assume that that's likely going to happen. That's a very interesting battle. Does it go to
Warren will have some song that we've never seen.
Oh yeah,
whatever movie she did this year. They're playing this K-pop Demon Hunter at, like, college football games. These songs, like, people just
do they play it? You went to Penn State. Did they play it at Penn State?
They might have. I don't know, honestly, but they might have. There are songs I didn't know, so probably. They
played at stadiums. It is crazy how big that movie has been, and I hope it's Netflix being like, oh, maybe we should put movies in theaters a little longer.
Yeah.
Is there any space for something from, like, Ballad of Wallace Island, which is a movie I really liked, like, to have an original song, or it's going to get squeezed out by K-pop Demon Hunters for, like, original song? Because some of the music in there I thought was great.
It could get a nom. They're weird because it's an older, like, Diane Warren gets nominated every year.
What shit movie did she make a song for this?
We even know it. Remember the Cheetos movie?
What Angel Studio movie did she? She makes songs for knockoff Angel Studio.
Does Michael Chiklis sing a song in this movie? Did he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking the
Ballad of the Senior.
Yeah, I don't know.
So next week, So we're always going to do these little reviews in between. When we had our old podcast, I'll stop referencing the old podcast after a while. Don't worry. But I think Kenjac, we always hit that point where, like, I feel like we have to catch up on reviews. We're behind. So we're gonna make sure that we, just because we hit something in the middle section doesn't mean we won't expand on it further. Like when Frankenstein comes out in a few weeks, it's not going to be in many theaters. We'll talk about it very briefly when it hits Netflix. We'll talk about it larger. But the main review next week, a franchise people are banging down the door to get back on the big screen. Tron Ares next week will be our main review, which we'll see. This might age poorly. We'll see. Our ranking next week, by the way, is most anticipated for the rest of the year, which I'm excited about. We'll see if this ages poorly, but don't you just love that awesome world in Tron, in the video game, and how cool and vibrant it looks? Now, what if it was just, instead of that, the real world? Like, what the fuck? What's the point of that?
Let's get Frodo Baggins in Detroit. Like, what's the fucking idea here? I truly don't get it.
I don't know what this movie's tracking for right now. I'm sure, Klemmer, you know, but I would take the under. Hammer the under.
Zero.
They have, like, you can tell they've completely thrown their hands up on marketing this, because now they just are like, The Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack. Like that's what their trailers are now. They're like
seeing that ad with Jeff Bridges being like 9 Inch Nails, guys. It's like I don't think you know what 9 Inch Nails are.
There's just zero buzz.
None.
Like, in fact, when you said, you kind of set out that thing on Twitter saying what movies we have coming up, I forgot it was coming out next week.
It's tracking for 44, they said, but this is also like 2-3 weeks ago.
I'd take the under on that. Big time.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. All right, before we wrap up this podcast, speaking of the Smashing Machine, Gooch sat down with the director of the Smashing Machine, Benny Safdie. Here's that interview.
All right, we are now joined by Benny Safdie, director, writer, editor, producer of The Smashing Machine, the story of mixed martial artist and UFC champion Mark Kerr.
That's right.
Now, that is a very short synopsis I pulled right off Letterboxd, but can I get a pitch from you?
Okay. Well, to me, it's a movie about, I wanted to make a movie what it felt like to be him. Mm-hmm. Truly. I wanted the audience to feel like, what is it like to be a fighter? What do they go through? Everything that they feel. And I wanted to make his memories your memories.
Looking through your filmography, it's very clear that you love sports. I mean, Lenny Cook, Uncut Gems, more recently Happy Gilmore 2, which I know you grew up loving that movie.
Oh my God, idolizing.
What drew you to the world of MMA?
Well, it's like what I remember going in 2002 with my stepfather to see like one of the first UFC fights that, like, I guess after it had just kind of been sold.
Yep.
So I saw it in 2002 in Connecticut. But before that, watching it on pay-per-view and just like these, like, really, there was something really exciting about it. It was like bloody and gory, but there was just something really almost experimental early on. And I've always loved boxing. I've always loved boxing and just combat sports in general. And I've done some boxing, personally. I was going to play a boxer in something, so I was like, if I'm going to play a boxer, I got to do this. And so I went to a boxing gym, and then like 10 years go by because the thing never happened. But I became close, and I really loved the sport. And the biggest thing for me was you walk into this gym, and you feel like you're going to look like a complete asshole. Like you can curse and stuff, right? Or no?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah. Please curse.
Okay. You look like, I think I'm going to look like a complete asshole. Like, don't know how to throw a punch. I'm going to look really stupid. But I really wanted to learn. And you go in there, and if you really want to learn, they're going to take you in and they're going to help you, And it was just such a kind of loving, inclusive place. And I thought, nobody knows that, Nobody knows that about this world. And you get really close and you sparring and somebody knocks you out and you're like, thank you, man. It's like, that's the greatest thing in the world. And so I just kind of became obsessed with that idea of this brotherhood of that. And specifically like early MMA, you see them pop up on your feed and you're just like, this stuff looks awesome. The ring, there's Pancras, which is like green. Bas Rutten, just like he said something amazing to me. He goes, I won all my fights in the first round. And he's like, because it was only one round, 30 minutes. And you just think, oh my God. Early on, these things were just like endurance, like round robins where you're fighting 5 guys in one night. And just the fact that, like, I know maybe you've seen that, like, I forget who he's fighting, but the Don Fry fight where it's just like punch. They're just destroying one another. And at the very end, it's like he doesn't get up and fucking put his hands up in the air. He just pats the guy on the chest like, we did that. There's something awesome about that part of it. And in sports in general, you can use it to understand your life,
Yeah, no, it's definitely like as close as you can get to like real life drama.
Yeah.
No.
And it's like the highest stakes, and it's so clear cut. And yeah, that's just like, and yeah, there's just something about like two people facing one another and then just trying to understand like what that feels like,
Now this stars, obviously, The Rock.
Yeah.
Pretty big name.
Yeah.
There's a great story about how you ended up linking up with Robert Pattinson on Good Time. He had seen a frame from Heaven Can Wait, and he said...
Heaven knows what. Heaven Can Wait is a great movie, though. And I'm totally okay, because it's a great movie in its own right.
Heaven Knows What. Go watch it. Beautiful film. Is there a story behind how you ended up linking up with The Rock?
So he reached out like in 2019 about wanting to make this movie, And as soon as I saw the documentary and I saw Mark Kerr, I was just like, I just kind of fell in love with him. He's this soft-spoken, gentle guy who can go in the ring and just destroy. And yet then he would come out and he would try and explain himself, what his emotions were, what his feelings were. And I'm like, this guy is the most beautiful contradiction I've ever seen. And there was something about also just like, he was going through so much in his life, and yet he comes out and he puts on this face for the crowd. He smiles, you know? And I could relate to that, you know? Sometimes having to put yourself behind for other people. And I knew Dwayne can relate to that. And I just kind of got him. Because you have this image of him in your head. And then when I met him, it was just like, oh my God, this guy is so deep and beautiful and sweet. And everything just made sense, you know? And things kind of just drifted apart. COVID happens. And I remembered thinking like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen with this thing. So I went online. There's a very specific yellow Nautica sweater that he wears in the documentary. And it just stuck in my head. And I had a screen grab on my phone from 2020. I was just looking at it. And I just would always look at it and think, oh, you know, there was something that I needed to do with him on this thing. And I found a version of the sweater in XXL, which was like a miracle. And I sent it to him, and I wrote a handwritten letter saying like, you know what, whenever this happens, if I'm a part of it, if not, whatever, I just want you to wear this thing, put it on, and it'll help you hopefully become Mark in some little way. But I wrote it in my handwriting, and my handwriting's like a psychotic second grader, and it looks terrible. So I'm sure somebody in his group got this like package, and they're like, let's just not mention this. And then you fast forward to Emily Blunt. I'm working with her on Oppenheimer. I was like, you know what? What's going on with that thing? You know, I haven't stopped thinking about it. I show her the picture, and you know, then we just hooked up, and we just decided, you know, let's just do it. You know. It's this thing I hadn't stopped thinking about for 4 years, so let's just go for it.
It does feel like a role that is tailor-made for Dwayne.
Yeah.
But I do think whenever you have someone that is that recognizable, it presents some challenges.
For sure.
So what was the process in making sure that, you know, hair and makeup, and what were you doing to make sure that when we watch this movie, we see Mark Kerr and not Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Well, and I think part of it was he wanted to disappear too. You know, he wanted the ability to kind of, specifically with the things he was going to talk about and explore, he wanted to feel like he could do that. And working with Kazu, who is one of the greatest makeup artists in the world, you know, ever, we kind of had these 3 phases of makeup. We could do a full reconstruction and make him look exactly like Mark Kerr, or we could kind of find a balance. And part of it was like, there's going to be a lot of movement. I don't want to do special effects. I want to have this on his face while he's fighting. And I said to Dwayne too, I want you in there doing this stuff. And he's like, okay. And so he's getting his face mashed around, and this stuff had to be on there. And so we settled on one where I was like, I need Dwayne to shine through too, because this is his story also. You know, I said to Mark early on, like, you lived your life so we could all feel it. And so there's going to be things in this that we're all exploring and we all want to look at. And so I wanted parts of Dwayne to come through too. It needed to be kind of a mix of the two of them. And so we found this like perfect balance. And then Mia Neal, who did the wig, you know, that was something that was just so, we were really like thinking about like different things. And you know, sometimes it's thinning, sometimes this is covering up, you know, wanted that to feel real. Cause on The Curse, I remember when I had a wig on, I was like, I got to be in the water. Because if you're in the water, then like that things kind of just, you forget. There's little things that you can kind of do that make you forget about that. So sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's gelled, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's when you wake up, it looks a different way, you know? I'm always trying to figure something out. You know, it's like,
the wig was very impressive because I've never seen a wig where it's thinning and then you can see the beaded sweat like underneath the thinning hair, which is like a very unique look.
And what we really settled on was with Kazu was this, just the brow and the nose and the ear, cauliflower ear. And then we also talked about how after a fight these things swell. So we had prosthetics for after fights, right after, 12 hours later, just different levels of all of that. So, but it was Dwayne had to be in makeup for like 3-4 hours a day, you know, just because it was this. It's not necessarily the pieces; it's the fact that they're so delicately and like applied, and the seams disappear, and you know, like Kazu and I, like obsessed over the eyebrows, you know, because if the eyebrows were a specific way, they highlight the eyes one way. If they're too sharp in one way, then it's a different face. And it was just really important also that, like, when I said to Dwayne, like, because as an actor, I've worn prosthetics before, and you want to feel comfortable doing your normal things. And I was like, how do you feel? He's like, I feel like myself. And I'm like, that's perfect, you know?
I'd also like to pivot to the action or the fighting within the movie. I would say that it's very unique compared to, you know, what we're used to, the usual fare of the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
You usually see it's very center, it's up close, big booming score. This is a lot of off center with a very nice kind of jazzy score underneath of it.
Nala Sinefro, she's the best.
Yeah, was that a decision and where that's something you wanted to do, or did you really want to differentiate yourself there?
It was a decision. It's something I wanted to do. And I also I did want to kind of figure out my own way, you know, because you see all these amazing movies and they're great. And I'm like, all right, if I'm going to be even like a little fraction, just like a little dust of one of those, I want to find a way to do something that kind of makes it feel different. And I remember watching some of the MMA fights with the sound off and just kind of seeing how they were covered. And I was like, oh, wait. I also wanted to really make these punches feel real, you know, because like nowadays, if you get in there, there's so much trickery going on that like it kind of like it doesn't mean anything. And so I'm like, I want you to like try and want to get. I said to Maceo, we have 3rd tier passes, so I purposely held everybody back. I told all the extras, do not give a shit about us. Get in our way. We have to make our way through to find you. And so we only stay outside the ring. It was a rule. Don't go in the ring. We're not allowed in there. That's for the fighters. And I wanted to give the audience a first row seat, basically, the best seat in the house. But you're not in there with them. So we have to feel it. And where you are in there with them is all the stuff before that. You know, all the emotions that they're going through. You're connected that way. And so even though you're distant, you can still feel close because you know the guy, you know? But I really wanted to kind of, and we had these crazy moves planned because it's like, for the most part, they're not actually getting punched in the face. Dwayne did get punched.
Oh,
you know,
really?
And he said, I have to early on because there's one really like brutal fight that Kerr was in. And he's like, there's no other way we're going to be able to do it. And he said to the guy, he goes, you got to hit me. You have to hit me. And he's like, I'm not going to do it. He goes, just, you know where to hit me where you don't like mess me up, but you got to punch me in the face.
Is this the fight with Alexander? Where he took
it was, it's with Fujita.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fujita, he's just getting punched and kneed in the stomach. And it's just, it's insane. It's just intense. And that, he's like, I just got to get rocked. So, pun intended. But it's like,
I was waiting for it.
So yeah, so basically like, so in the sense, but we would be like, all right, so we're going to have the camera here and we know that we need to kind of hide this stuff. So we'll run down, act like you're getting a better shot and we'll pan through. And so it would end up learning, we would shoot all the fights with Greg Rementer, the stunt coordinator, who did an incredible job, you know, figuring out how to get these things. And he knew I didn't want to do special effects. He knew I wanted to get as much in possible in camera, and we did it in camera. So he's like, all right, so if we can put him here, and if your tell me where your camera's going to be, we would shoot them all, and then I would edit them, and then I would be like, okay, this is great. Let's add another punch here, another kick there, and then I would edit them again. And there was one amazing day where I had the whole office come down. We gave them all cameras, and we shot the fight in downstairs in the ring where that's where our workshop was. And then I edited that together to see if it was going to work, you know? And then it also allowed me to just like, when we got there to do these things, it's physical. They're grappling. They're getting thrown on the ground. Like that stuff you can't fake, you know? You can give extra padding and stuff. And it's like, if the camera's here, it's like, and then he hands down, and then he's like, oh, he's blocking it. But those first ones with the sound design, you can make it just really, the sound design was intense. Just, I wanted you to, because that's how you can get close, is hearing the punches. And it was not just the punch. I wanted to hear the sounds after the punch, the skin, the bone, you know, like we really were. So that you look at one of these punches and there's like 10 sounds. And it was funny. I remember I took a sound design class in college, and the guy showed us, and you can find it online, but it's the Terminator 2 special feature sound design. And they go like, first one, like pistol. Then it's like shotgun. Then it's like cannon. And then they add all these other stuff. And then they show you the final sound. And it's like, and you're just like, oh my God, that's how you do that.
Yes.
And so we really spent a lot of time trying to figure out how they were the perfect noises. They're never the same. They're always a little different. And so you can bring it in closer that way. But we never went in the ring, you know, and I wanted it to feel like, oh, this is the best seat in the house. And I'll never be able to get another point of view. And when you see it on a giant screen, it's just cool.
After every single fight, I was drained.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's also, that's the other thing is mixed martial arts. There's something to it where it's so fast. It's like bang, bang, it's like everything happens. I said to Greg, I said, I need to know what a takedown feels like. So take me down. And so he's like, you sure? I said, yeah. Next thing you know, bang. I'm like, oh my God. It just happens.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I need to capture that energy. And then Nala's like, okay, she saw the jazz. Like I had like free jazz drums, and she's like, no, it's got to be in time. And so we should put in jazz over this stuff, and the drum and saxophone and electric guitar, like figuring out all this stuff that we can do that kind of mirrors his emotional state as opposed to just kind of like pumping you up. So yeah, it was fun.
I was blown away by
That's
the production
cool.
value throughout this movie, and specifically the time period. You really nailed, that late 90s, early 2000s time period in two different locations, which feels like a big challenge. And can I ask you what your experience was like shooting in Japan? I mean, that's
shooting in
huge.
Japan is unbelievable. You know, it's amazing because like it's a totally different society, and yet so there's all these different rules and things that you have to kind of work with, but like to get that period, it's weird because it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it, but like that's like,
try not to think about it.
yeah, I don't want to think about it because it scares me every time. I'm like, it's yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And so so there's the clothes, that Heidi, we wanted them to have a certain level of wornness to it, because one thing I realized is it's not the 90s. It's the late 90s. So all of your 90s shirts have to have a specific quality to it, that they've been worn, washed, and that they flow a different way. They hide your thing. They just drape specifically. The things needed to feel lived in a certain way. It's like I would obsess over like the scratches on the wall in the house.
The house was brilliant.
Which was a set.
The furniture.
That's a set. We built a house on a stage. Because part of it was I knew I needed these specific shots for one of those fights that I wanted the cameras to feel hidden. I didn't want the actors to see them. So we built the house for that, and but all the stuff, it's like there's these weird ineffable things that make something feel real. It's not quite clean. And then also we knew that like 16 millimeter, that the lenses we were using were going to add to that, add to that kind of, it's a nostalgia in a way, but it's not like precious, So I'm glad that you picked up on that, because that feeling is something that you work hard to get, and you don't know if it's going to land. But shooting in Japan was just like, it was amazing, because like I remember there was this one thing where we had to stop this like market, and it's when Emily's coming, and she's so excited to be in Japan, and they're just like, we don't close streets here, and I'm like, I just need 45 seconds. That's it. Because I needed to have a bunch of people wearing the period clothes, cell phones, all that stuff.
I saw someone with the flip phone.
And it's like I needed that, and I couldn't have other, because the moment somebody entered in, you realized, oh my God, it was depressing, because like, wow, things have changed a ton. But like the moment somebody entered in, you're like, I can't have that. And so I said, just 45 seconds, please. And they're like, okay, fine. And we found like the 4 points of entrance, and we just did it. We shut it down, we got it, and it was just fun, It was nice to have that energy over there, and everybody was such a pleasure to work with, and they were so happy, there's one thing that we didn't shoot. It's in this like temple. We shot it, but it's not in the movie, and it was amazing because it was this really small town, and while we're shooting the scene, the entire town was there, and it was just the most incredible thing. And the guy was the mayor, and there's this thing that they do. Like when they welcome you, he gave me this watermelon, and they put the watermelon in the middle of this square, and they give you like one of these like wooden swords, and they blindfold you, and everybody yells to you where to go. It's like piñata.
Yeah, I was about to say this sounds like a Japanese
It's a Japanese piñata, but with a watermelon. And I'm doing it and this, and I'm hearing all these voices, and I'm like, I'm going to listen to Maseo because he's the cinematographer. Yeah. We're tied to the hip. I'm listening to him. So he's telling me exactly where to go, and I just go, whack, and everybody starts clapping, and I take off the blindfold, and the thing is like broken apart, and it's just like a good luck thing. And then you just are supposed to reach in and grab a piece and bite it. And there's all these just beautiful like ceremonies, for these little things, and it was nice to have that around, Yeah,
no. Wouldn't get that here.
No, you get the other things here, though.
Yeah, you get a lot of things.
Yeah.
Horns constantly blaring, at least here in this studio.
And it's funny because I specifically in the sound, when you watch the movie, I put in, and we were so specific. I was like, I need a plane to go over the house. I just need a plane. I want to hear a plane going over the house. And you hear that like low, just like going over. And it happens at the same time at different moments.
Yeah.
And I need to hear a leaf blower 5 things away. And I'm adding all the stuff that you try and get rid of.
That's what makes it feel real.
Yeah.
It makes it feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Back to filming. You shot this on 60 millimeter.
Yeah.
There's a great photo of you in the grocery store with the big IMAX camera on your shoulder.
Yes.
First time using that technology for you?
It was the first time physically using that technology. I had worked on it, Oppenheimer and then the Odyssey, and just like seeing what he's doing with this thing.
Did you reach out to him for help? I know Kugler had spoken about,
Yeah, we talk, and it was just like, it was exciting. Like, I was asking him and I just kind of saw what it did on set, that camera, just and how he's not it was amazing. Like the way that he's treating that camera is like, and moving with it is wild. And it was just incredible to see. And so I was like, I want to try something with this camera, and we ended up finding there's a specific moment in the movie when we use it, but it's an important thing because the movie transitions from like YouTube to 16 millimeter to like IMAX, and you have this journey, but it's all for IMAX,
Yep.
We met with them beforehand and talked about like, how can we get this to look okay on an IMAX screen? Because it's never been done before. There's never been a 16 millimeter movie on an IMAX screen. So it's like, how do we figure this out? And so we did all these tests with degraining and this, and we like, okay, if we pull back a little bit on our lenses on the handheld, we can smooth it out. So it was really shot with that idea. And one of the things I'm very excited is like, there's going to be a VHS on IMAX, which is cool. But because I wanted it to be like, you're discovering. That's how a lot of this happens, nowadays is you swipe on your phone and you see this image. And you're like, oh my God, who's that? And then you go and you learn about them. So I wanted that to be a part of the process of the movie. Like, here's this incredible fight in Brazil. Like, and they're just watching it like you would find it on YouTube. And it's just there. And then it's like, I want to know more about that guy. Bam. Now we're going to find out,
Now, before we started this interview, you were about to dive into a story from the Odyssey set,
yes.
I believe.
This is like, it was just because I was saying we were in Morocco and I was going around I was like, I wanted to see the place. And so my day off, I went around with, I asked this guy, I was like, hey, can you take me around to some of the things? And I ate the food, I drank the things. And then I like remember talking to Chris being like, the water, like, what's that like here? And he's like, you don't drink it. And I'm like, and then it was just like, I just like was I was like, in my head, I'm like, I saw the moment and I'm like, oh, that's going to be a thing. And then I remember just like going to the doctor or them putting the stethoscope on my stomach and they just went like, whoa, something's going on in there. And then I had to go back and I was
Other than
more
that,
prepared.
though, good shoot, right?
Oh, it was incredible. It just I was saying the scale of it, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And I just love being on his set and just learning. It's great. And it's just it's just wild.
It is wild. I mean, you're a frequent collaborator now.
Yeah, I
think
so.
You can say that. Did you expect, by the way, from Oppenheimer, until they build a bigger bomb to become the movie that it has?
I know. That's the thing that I had no idea. Somebody sent that to me, and I'm just like, oh, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's very much a thing.
And it's like, and it's just so funny because like, it's just that like, because when it's happening, you have no idea. All I'm thinking about is I got this accent that I got to do, and I'm trying to like be realistic in this thing, and so you just do it, and it's like, oh yeah, until you build a bigger bomb.
It's a great line.
It's a great line.
It's a fantastic.
You know,
line.
and it's like I'm just trying to do justice to it, and it's just so funny that like it became this thing, and you never know what's gonna happen, but I love it, you know, because I had such a good time. On that, you know, it was just like working on that with everybody there, and it was just so like it's just funny to see that face, and I can like go right back to that moment in the desert, you know, probably I don't know 6 miles away from where they actually did the test, you know, with Killian, just thinking, how am I going to deliver this thing?
Yeah. Not to stay too much on the internet, but I don't know if you saw this. A tweet went viral last week. And it's just a picture of you promoting Daddy Longlegs outside the IFC Center, right next to you, looking glamorous.
Oh, wow.
On the Venice red carpet.
That is killer. That is killer.
Which, if you're ever in New York, go to the IFC Center. It's the quintessential New York movie experience, in my opinion.
It's like an independent multiplex.
Yes. How would you say you've grown the most since that picture? As a filmmaker, at least.
Well, the thing is I part of me wants to feel like I've learned a lot of how to do stuff, but part of me likes to think that I haven't changed that much, hopefully, from that first photo, because like, no joke, when we did our tech check in Venice, and then on my way out, I see everybody going in, and my initial reaction is, hey, go enjoy. I'm like, and I stood outside and I said hello to everybody because I was just like, I wanted to like see if they were gonna have a good time, you know, go in and enjoy it. And they're like, whoa, what are you doing standing out here? So it basically was the same thing, you know. Nobody took a picture there, but it was just like, that was a moment where I was just like, okay, it's the first movie. All I wanted was for it to be held over. That's it. I just wanted to make it to the next weekend, and so. Printed out this sign, all these flyers, and I just stood outside all day for 9 hours, convincing people not to go to other movies and to go to this one. And they're like, well, who are you telling me this? I'm like, well, I made that with my brother, you know? And it's like, they're like, what? And you're standing out here, and everybody at the theater thought, oh, this is cute. But then when I came back the next day, and I was also there all day for 9 hours standing, they're like, oh, he's not messing around. He's really, this is a real promotion thing that he's doing. So, I think it's amazing, you know, that like, yeah, to go from that to being there, but like, I hope not too much has changed. You know?
I mean, listen, the gondolas and the Aperol spirits, they have nothing on a slice of Joe's Pizza.
Oh yeah,
come
for
on,
sure.
Come on. Can't beat that.
No, you can't beat that. Although their pizza is pretty good over there. It's just different.
So before you get out of here, I would like to really quickly, usually we'll go through and do a full ranking, but we're just going to do a quick draft of favorite directors working right now.
Oh, fuck.
I know, it's tough.
I could go PTA, Chris Nolan.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, I would have let off with PTA, so you took him off my board.
Okay.
PTA and Nolan, right at the top. Wow. I'd go Scorsese.
Oh, for sure.
I mean...
No, but that's Scorsese. You don't...
Yeah.
It's amazing that he's still going.
Yes.
And he's making things at such a high level. Scorsese, done. Yeah. Scorsese, oh man, this is too hard.
Next on my list would be Park Chan-wook.
Okay,
I think is just
that's a good
brilliant.
one. It's just so funny because it's like there's so many. There's so many people.
I started to write a list and then it just like I had to stop myself at some point. I got like 20 names in. I was like, we're not going to.
Can I just like not go? Because it's like there's certain like I don't want anybody to be like, oh,
why'd you leave me off?
Yeah, why'd you leave me off?
How about this? Who's one director you really want to work with as an actor?
Oh, well, you got Spielberg.
Okay.
You know, that's another guy who's still going.
Can't wait for his UFO movie.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
And then, fuck. Let's see. What else? Who else is there? I'm thinking like there's so many else. Oh, Mike Lee.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Mike Lee. There's, oh God, yeah. There's too many.
There's
Herzog, Werner Herzog.
Oh,
come on.
Incredible.
Now it's all like coming back to me. So there's no particular order here. You know, and then there's There's a new movie, Ross McElwee, he made a documentary. This Sherman's March was a big influence. But yeah, there's so many. It's not fair. I don't like this draft.
You don't like this draft?
Because it's like
throw it out.
Yeah, it's just like
Fire the person who came up with this idea.
it's the kind of thing where I'm just like, I get so overwhelmed in my head about like, okay, what's going with it, blah, blah, and then it's like you lose these. I don't know. There's too many. But then it's endless. You know, you have like Cuarón, Del Toro. You got
of course.
and then you
the
have
Three Amigos, of course.
It's exactly. So there's just it's an amazing kind of moment just to be watching movies. You know that like there's just such a.
There's a wealth of just great filmmakers right now.
It's a deep bench.
You're on that list, by the way. Definitely. So, Smashing Machine, October 3rd.
Yeah.
Definitely go see it. Saw it last night. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
This has been an honor.
Yeah. This has been great. So fun.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.
That's it for this first episode. Thank you for episode. Ooh, nice little lisp at the end there. Almost made it through. Like and subscribe wherever you're listening or watching. Follow us on all social platforms at Proj, P-R-O-J, Big Screen. Shout out to those guys who had at Big Screen who didn't get back to us on the DMs. Fucking assholes. Of course, Letterboxd as well. Go find us. Interact with us on all of our reviews. We'll be putting things up there. And lists, all that and much more. Maybe if you're like a physical media reviews at some point. That's it. For Kirk, Kenjac, Klemmer, Gooch, I'm Jeff D'Lo. We will talk to you next week.